Hey everybody, this is Roberto Blake of RobertoBlake.com. I think we're live here on YouTube finally, and welcome to another YouTube Live Q&A. This one is going to be a YouTube Live Super Chat where I'm going to be reviewing a couple of YouTube channels. We've got about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in the lineup, so we're going to definitely at least get to all of those, spend a few minutes giving them at least just a few tips on what they can do to improve their channels. If you're watching this live and you want to get in on the Super Chat reviews, there are instructions in the description down below for how you can do that with the Super Chats, so that's pretty cool. I also have your comments and discussion up on the screen, so I'm going to be asking you to interact. Those of you watching the replay, feel free to talk about like what you liked about these channels or any tips you can offer them in the comment section down below. Also, everybody, today is Wednesday. It is the day before Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to all of you who celebrate that. I'm very thankful for this community. I'm thankful, obviously, to everybody who donated via Super Chat. I'm thankful to everybody who came in the live stream. And thank you to any of you watching the replay for being part of the Create Awesome community and what we do here. Also, it means that Black Friday and Cyber Monday are coming. So I have an interesting Black Friday deal for those of you who are YouTubers. I did my own Black Friday deal on one of my recent products. So let me show you guys something that might help you specifically with your YouTube channel if what you're struggling with is thumbnails and channel artwork and graphics on a whole. I've made a little something that might help you out. So let's go ahead and take a quick peek at that before we jump into today's reviews. Also, you can find links to everything I'm talking about in the description down below. So, some of you know that this week I launched something called the YouTube Starter Kit. And what the YouTube Starter Kit is it's a bunch of graphics and Photoshop templates that you can use to make thumbnails similar to literally the best thumbnails on YouTube. Now, these are not the only ones included, and it's not just YouTube thumbnails. It's also channel artwork, as you can see, and end card screens and other things. And I'm also taking you guys' request on the types of graphics you want to add to that. Currently, this has dozens of templates. There are 2 template packs with 10 different templates apiece based on the top trending videos in YouTube, the style of thumbnails from bigger channels. There are also YouTube channel art templates as well, and I'll be adding another one over the weekend, some end card templates and more assets. Right now this has a few dozen assets. My goal is to get this to having over 100 assets. You get it at one lifetime price. It's usually $99. For Black Friday, I have a special deal, 50% off. Just type in discount code 450 as in FOR and then the word 50 spelled out. I have that discount code and links to this in the description down below if you want to check that out. So the YouTube Starter Kit is doing really well. I've already had like dozens of people give me positive feedback on this, and I made it so that you usually have to buy individual Photoshop templates for anywhere from $5 to $20. I just decided that a bundle is simpler, and if I can get 100 Photoshop files in this before the end of the year, then it's a tremendous steal for you guys. So it's literally thousands of dollars potentially in value by the time those new templates get added. And if you buy, you just get whatever I add for free whenever it comes out. So, that's what the YouTube Starter Kit is. And like I said, right now, it's got a Black Friday deal on it. Use the discount code 450 to get 50% off and get that for like 50 bucks. So, that's just something that I wanted to offer you guys as a resource. You do not have to buy this. You do not have to feel obligated to buy it, but if it will help you out, then I encourage it. So you can get that at awesomecreatoracademy.com. Don't forget to use the discount code in the description down below. So we've got a bunch of really nice super chats here. I've lined up at least 10 channels that we're going to get to. So we've got that going on. And if you guys hang around after I wrap up channel reviews, if you are interested in some things going on in YouTube, if you want to talk a little bit about what's going on with YouTube Kids, if you want to talk about the new situations in the adpocalypse, which I have some upcoming videos on, we can do some Q&A toward the end. So there's that. So without further ado, let's get into some of these YouTube channel reviews. And let's start off. I think we've got a gaming channel to start with, and I think we have a variety of channels here. We got some gaming channels, some vloggers. So I'm going to pop that up on the screen, and we're going to take a look here. So this is a channel called Zom Club 298. My game story, subscribe now. So I'm assuming that this is a story-based gaming YouTube channel with some comedy, and it actually looks pretty cool. And I dig that you're incorporating, even when you're not like, you're incorporating some of this Mario stuff from the new Super Mario Odyssey, which I'm actually playing on the Switch right now. So that's kind of cool. Looks like you're getting some views on this. Very nice. It's hard to get views on a small gaming YouTube channel. Here's the thing. I have no idea how big your channel is, though, because you're concealing your subscriber count, and I totally get that. A lot of small YouTubers do that. But if you even have 100 subscribers, then it's definitely worth having that up. So let's dig into your thumbnails, because that's like the most obvious thing that gets clicks or not. Looks like you've been doing this for a year, and it looks like you've just systematically gotten better at it for thumbnails. The thumbnails could still use a little bit of work, but I like that these thumbnails are different and they're unique and you're incorporating yourself into them. And I like that you've obviously learned from watching big YouTubers like probably Jake and Logan Paul as far as styles of thumbnails. So I see some of that going on here, but you incorporate it into gaming. You probably have learned a little bit from PewDiePie and Jacksepticeye, and you're getting views. Again, don't be embarrassed by your subscriber count because you're not a big YouTuber. You're young, so I know that young people sometimes they get bullied for having a small channel, but bullies are stupid, right? Bullies are stupid. Anybody who sits there and picks on or criticizes somebody who's actually doing something instead of doing it themselves and just doing it as good or better is a loser, and you can tell them I said so. I'm not shy about that at all. So don't be embarrassed about your subscriber count, and if you're getting picked on because you have a YouTube channel, like, those people just aren't doing anything, or like, it looks like, I mean, you've got green screen going on here, like, so I dig that. Here's something you need to do better. Your descriptions and your titles need to be better. You need to describe what's going to be going on in the game. You need to describe what the game is about. That would help with reach. And then better tags. Use TubeBuddy. I have a discount code for that, tubebuddy.com/awesome. And Roberto's Buddy as a code gets you 20% off of TubeBuddy. But TubeBuddy is my secret weapon when it comes to how I tag and rank my videos. And I've proven time and time again that tagging and ranking your videos, it doesn't matter how small your channel is, it works. That's how I came out of nowhere 4 years ago, guys. It's not an accident. It's that I did really good thumbnails overall, and I tagged and ranked my videos. So that's what I would say about that. Your video quality is fine for a gaming channel. You're actually doing some really smart things. I like that you've got the green screen stuff going on. One of the things I'm working on for the YouTube starter guide is if, like, you guys see how I have the live interface here, where I've got over here, I've got the full screen in there, and I've got it branded, and this looks really cool, and I've got Super Chat above. Like, those are the kind of graphics that I'm putting into the YouTube starter kit, so that's why I think that some of that stuff matters. And I might be doing, I know I'm going to add something this weekend for live streamers, but not just gamers. But I think that gamers would benefit from not just doing green screen, but also doing something like this that lets them, like, not block out parts of the interface that show the gameplay, even if it means minimizing the screen a little bit like this. You don't lose that much real estate. So I think that that's something that's, like, super practical to do, is to just do more things like that if you're going to do live stream. That it's not that bad, but if you suck at Photoshop, it might feel intimidating. So that's why I'm helping out with that. So your video quality is good. Your thumbnails are good. They could be a little bit better. But overall, it's a solid channel. Your big vulnerability is that you need to do a little bit better on your descriptions and on your tags. You cannot rely on copying big YouTube gamers for that, because a lot of them, they still just focus on community and virality. They don't optimize. Someone who does it fairly well is Bijou Mike, if you want to check him out. You know, he does a good job with that. So again, it's a solid channel. What I would say is I do feel the channel artwork could be a little bit better because you do a really good job in these thumbnails. I think that you could bring that to your channel artwork, and then that would improve it a little bit. Let's see what else. There's probably one more thing I could probably tell you because I have a sneaking suspicion if I go to the comments here. Like, even when you only get 1 or 2 comments on a video, guys, when you're small, I see that you replied to that comment. When you're small, reply to everything. When you're small, reply to everything, reply to everyone. It really matters. It gets people to come back. It's important. So that would be my advice for you. So, one down. One down. All right. Ooh, we got what's probably the equivalent of a $20 super chat from Andreas Frandsen. Thank you, Andreas. So I'll just load that up here so that I don't miss it. The Beard Bringer. Oh, that's exciting. We will get to that. I love the channel artwork. That's what I'm going to say off the bat. Like, that's a big deal to me. So the reason I'm going to always bring up channel artwork and the reason I'm going to always bring up thumbnails is that when you first come to a channel, if it's recommended to you or you go to the channel, when you're trying to figure out what a channel is about, then the channel artwork is a really big opportunity to figure that out, just like when you go to a website, okay? So that's really important. So that's something that matters. The Traveling Introvert, the stuff in the YouTube starter kit actually works, and I designed it to work not only on the desktop, but on laptop and on mobile. If you're asking about all platforms, then later I'm going to make some kind of social media starter kit for like Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn and things of that nature. And at some point I might actually have a really good strategy for Instagram flat lays. And I'm also a photographer, so I might do another product like that later. So I brought that up because you asked about social media. Consistency with your YouTube channel and your social media is important, but I don't think it's something that fits the YouTube starter kit, so I'd have to do something different there because Twitter and Facebook and those other things are so radically different than YouTube that you have to make a YouTube thing only, but you can mix and match on those other platforms because they're closer to each other. So YouTube is unique. YouTube is special. That being said, I'm looking at, I like this Blimps in space tone. Like, I like this, but I don't understand what it's about. And that could just be me. I like this visually. This is creative and it's different to me. But the problem is I lack context. It doesn't, I don't understand. I see gear reviews, creative stuff, and how-to music, but that doesn't tell me anything. I don't know if Blimps in Space is your band. I don't know. But again, it could be that I'm also not part of whatever the culture of this community is, so maybe I don't understand based on that. But I think you need to make it easy for people to understand what they're getting. But I think you're capable of doing it because your channel artwork and your thumbnails suggest that you're really good at Photoshop and photography. Very important skill. So, guitar, speaker, cabinet, IRs, how to make impulse. Jordan Peterson Trance remix. All right, so I think that this is a music channel, and I need that to be a lot clearer. So if something is music or a song, I need something, or if something's a music video, I need in brackets in the title something that identifies it as that so that I have context. If this just ends up in my Twitter or Facebook feed, I need to be able to figure that out without thinking too hard. So that's important. I like that you capitalized on Jordan Peterson. My reaction to that is do more public figures and put their face in the thing and do even better thumbnails than this and do more public figures and then use that as media attention to get and to siphon attention from that. Do stuff like Jennifer Lawrence, maybe do like who else? But that is not like a super polarizing figure that has attention. Oh well, no, he can be a polarizing figure. Do like a song thing that might be like Jake Paul or Logan Paul or something like that. Do whatever from a like if you want people to pay attention to like your music and your remixes, then use public figures as leverage and make stuff about that. And then do a bunch of these how-to tutorial stuff as well, and then that will get more attention for your original music and what you're trying to do. I think that will matter. So there's that. Let's see. Let's see what's going on with this. I just kind of want to get a sense of your production values. Okay, so you're using an interface here, and I guess this is software like called Wall of Sound or Torpedo or something of that nature. So if you're doing an interface thing like this, and you're doing a tutorial and you're going to use a face cam, then what I recommend is you do something like what I have here. And I think that you might be a good enough person in Photoshop to do that. Like what I'm going to do this week, even though it's Thanksgiving weekend, what I'm going to do, maybe I'll do it after this live stream, is I'm going to put something in the YouTube starter pack as a YouTube live like template that people can use as like a Photoshop template that they can modify and customize and make their own that's similar to mine. But what I'm going to do is one will be without like super chat and one will be like just a face cam thing that you can do, so that you, and then it has your social media above or below, so that when you need to do a tutorial like this, you can show the whole interface, but you can still have a face cam and it will look good and it will be branded to your channel, because I think that will look better than something like this. So I'm going to put that in the YouTube starter kit. And if you guys are just tuning into the stream or you're watching the replay and you've skipped to this part for whatever reason, the YouTube starter kit, I'm doing a Black Friday sale for 50% off. The link and the discount code are in the description down below. So you'll want to check that out, because I'm giving away in this a bunch of Photoshop templates at a huge bargain. You're getting dozens of these things. When I add more to it, it will have like 100 downloadable assets for $100, but it's on sale for 50% right now. And the reason I'm bringing it up again is because if you look at the interface that I have going on right here, if you look at what this channel is trying to do in any tutorial channel, then something like what I have going on like this would actually work out really well for a channel like this, and also for gamers that want to do face cam, because this face cam is taking up a lot of this real estate here, and that's probably hurting just like the experience of watching this video, especially as a tutorial style thing. Also, for like tutorial stuff, you want to do a little bit more with how to in the actual tags and not just use this. You're ranking for a lot of these tags, but also you want to consider the search volume on those things. Like this right now probably has low competition, but like what's the search volume? The search volume is extremely like low on this. So that's, you know, something that you're ranking for it, but the search volume is low. That's super niche, which not the worst thing in the world, but you know, you might be able to do better, and you might be able to rank better for this Torpedo Wall of Sound tutorial ranking if you actually had something like that in the title. But again, look at the lack of search volume. It's no competition for this, but I would do more tutorials for this because it means there is a community, because you got a couple hundred views on it. So I would dominate being the expert for this software. Like, let's see if the software itself is being searched for, because you're ranking number 3 for that. Average. Competition's high, but you're ranking number 3. I would do more of these Torpedo Wall of Sound tutorials. I would use that as a funnel for traffic to your channel, and I would dominate on that, and that will help get attention for your original music. So I would do that. But the views you're getting for having 46 subscribers and for doing something that's very niche is good, and your graphics, your thumbnails are very clickable. I would make these great clickable thumbnails and I would make more tutorial videos for Wall of Sound, and I would make sure that Wall of Sound tutorial is in the title of the video. You'll notice I do something very similar when it comes to things for like Photoshop and Adobe Audition. Yeah, less people view that because a lot of people don't have Adobe Audition. It's the subscription model. It's expensive, but to dominate for those things, it means that people are video editing, that I've got them, and then I can get them to other tutorial videos. Tutorial videos are hit or miss, but the good thing about them is they always bring new traffic to your channel, and new traffic can convert to subscribers. So how-to videos and tech videos and things of that nature, they work really well, and then I can get other things out of them later, and then that's how I'm getting attention to the Creative Thoughts vlogs, which are about mindset shift and, motivation. So you can use those things as a hack the way I have, and your thumbnails are quality. So I would do a lot more with search-friendly content on your channel when you're starting out like this, while you're under 100 subs, to get those first 100 people. And I think that would really help you a lot. So that's my advice on that. So Blimps in Space, good job, buddy. Thanks for submitting your channel. Now I'm really excited about Andreas' channel, but I also have some more super chats here. Liz, thank you for the $2 in super chat. Just want to acknowledge that. Ivan Triple says, it doesn't make a lot of sense to ask for a review of a Spanish channel. In my case, because my family's Panamanian Cuban, I did speak a little bit of Spanish, less, unfortunately, after my grandmother passed away. I actually don't think I've had a conversation in Spanish since my grandmother passed away last year. In fact, today would have been her birthday. So that's fun. So there's that. But I would review a channel that is in Spanish, even though there's some context that will be lost on me. There are very general things that I can speak to. And we've got a hater in the super chat that I am just going to block forever, and that's what you get, buddy. So there's that. So Larry Snow, hey Roberto, appreciate all you do for the YouTube community. Would like a review if you have the time. Larry, I'm gonna add you on deck. So we're gonna do that. Leila Fox Nation, love your channel. Would love a review, please. Leila, $20 super chat. You've got it. So let's see. I've got a little bit of like a lag thing going on here, but we'll figure it out. So guys, thank you everybody who's donating in super chat. Thank you guys for participating in the live channel reviews. While I'm waiting for the loading, I'm just going to remind you guys while all that's loading, I'm just going to tab over to the YouTube Starter Kit. Again, I am plugging it because it's a Black Friday sale, because again, I want you guys to take advantage of the sale. Here's the best part. This sale on the YouTube Starter Kit, I'm not ending it with Black Friday and Cyber Monday. This sale will go to the end of 2017. We'll close out the year strong. So if you use the discount code 450 in the description, you'll get 50% off on the YouTube Starter Kit. Quick reminder, what you're getting is you're getting YouTube templates. These are Photoshop templates that you can use. I've also given you the JPEGs, and this will help with your YouTube thumbnails, but also your YouTube channel artwork, and also things like end cards, and I'm going to include a YouTube live interface and a YouTube tutorial interface in terms of being able to pop up your full screen, plus your super chats or your social media. So those things you can find in the YouTube Starter Kit, and I'm going to keep adding to this until there are 100 downloads. There's dozens of downloads right now. I think there's between 35 and 40 something downloads. Plus there's some YouTube advice in there, but it's not a course. What it is it's Photoshop templates, and the beauty of it is that you can go and you can get either a 30-day trial of Photoshop and then work on these things until you can afford it, and Photoshop's like $10 a month, or you can buy Affinity Photo for $60 or Photoshop Elements for $80 if you're on a budget. You can use GIMP if you want to. It's free, but it's clunky as hell. But anything that can open up a PSD file will help with this. So, you know, you can do that. and it will absolutely help your channel. So I want to offer you guys that with a 50% discount to the end of the year. All the links and info are in the description down below. My homie Clover Tack with Tactical and Gun Safety YouTube channel, he's been taking advantage of it. He changed his channel artwork. There are plenty of other people who can tell you about it. So with that said, let's go and see if these loaded up. Well, mostly these loaded up. I might have to do a refresh on Leila's, but we'll get to that. But I'm really excited about this YouTube channel because the channel artwork got me right off the bat. So we're gonna take a look at that while it's loading up. Yes, okay, cool. So Andreas Frandsen. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. The Beard Bringer. First of all, dude, that is like an epic level beard. That's like an epic level 99 purple grade like beard. That is a raid tier level beard. And all my gaming nerds, you know what I'm talking about. Like, that's insane. So I'm digging that. This channel artwork is doing literally everything right. It's giving context. It's like, it's visually appealing. It's different. It's unique. Crap, I kind of like want to take this idea as far as the diagonal cuts, but like pulling that off would be very specific. But geez, this is like an example of good, interesting, unique channel artwork. So well done, Andreas. And you've got 408 subscribers. Okay, cool. And basically it's a channel for beard enthusiasts. So that's about as niche as you can get. So I like that. I think that, like, I guess beard tube and beard tubers might be becoming a thing. So fun stuff there. Let's see. Let's take a look at your overall thumbnails, because I think that your overall thumbnails are good, and but I think some of them probably could have been better. Like this one probably would have been better without text, for example. So that's a straightforward thing. I'm getting some more context on you, so it seems like some of this is also a personal blog in addition to beard enthusiast stuff, so I like that. The beard stuff could be search friendly. Let's look at like this, why does my beard itch? Alright, so cinematography is good. Good typography. I like that. I'm thinking that's Helvetica with a treatment on it. Maybe. Your sense of editing is fantastic. So you've got good editing, you've got good production values, you're doing great thumbnails, so you're doing everything on that level right. That's ideal. Immediate problem, your description. If this was a show on Netflix, this description doesn't help you. Subscribe to the channel in the first thing doesn't help you. But Beard Talk, why does my beard itch? If you move that to the top and then make subscribe the third line, then that does better. Or here's another hack. If you want to put the subscribe link or get someone to do something, put that as the first comment and pin that comment instead of what do you do when you get the beard itch? Like something like, why does my beard itch, or what do you do? That should be in the title, or sorry, in the first line of the description, just like it is in the title, because that's how YouTube decides that something is relevant. Subscribe is not relevant to the robot in YouTube. That's something that's more valuable to move down here or to put as the first pinned comment. So I would do that. Let's see how you're ranking in TubeBuddy. I think you could do better on these tags. I think more of the how to care for your beard, why is my beard itch, I think that those would have been more practical tags and you could rank better. I think that these rankings will improve if you make that change in the description that I talked about. So your issue, my friend, is YouTube SEO. Titles, descriptions, and tags. Your titles are good. Your descriptions could be better if you prioritize context of the description instead of what you want, which is the subscribe link. So, fix that. And then the other thing you need to do is adjust some of these tags. And what you can do if you want to accomplish that is you can use TubeBuddy. That's the tool I'm using right now to do the analytics on your channel. And if you go to tubebuddy.com/awesome, linked in the description down below, and use code Roberto's Buddy, then they will give you 20% off of TubeBuddy. That is my affiliate code that gets you guys a 20% off discount on their product, and that will help you with better tagging and measuring this stuff, because like what I get to look at with TubeBuddy's data is I get to see like why does my beard itch? I get to see what you could do to rank better for this. So guess what? The competition is average on this search volume is average, but you ranked 20 for it. That's good, but you could work on it to rank better. And it also has some other suggestions for tags you can use that you didn't use down here. There are good questions like why is my beard itch so much? Why is my beard itch and flake? Why is my beard itch after I shave? Those would have all been good tags to use that you could have ranked for, and those also could be good ideas for future videos. So that's why I use TubeBuddy, is because I can see that, I can compare results and see what are the thumbnails for this topic, and like where's my video stand up against those, and see your thumbnail is like so ridiculously better than all these other thumbnails. If you were ranking closer to number 1, 2, or 3 by modifying your tags and your description a little bit, you'll get so much more views on this video because your thumbnail is superior, and the superior thumbnail will get clicked more than the thumbnail that has the most views, especially since your thumbnail and your video is new and we can see that you only published it 2 hours ago and has the better thumbnail. We might click on that more than all these other older videos that just have a bunch of views that they've racked up. So that's what I would recommend, man, because in my opinion, you're doing like all the other things right. You do really good thumbnails overall, and you're getting your thumbnail style a lot more consistent, and you have a good sense of typography. Your video editing's on point. Like, so when people say, oh, it's just that you need to make better quality content, in your case, you're making like some of the best quality content from a production value standpoint and editing standpoint. The content doesn't need to improve. Your on-camera presence felt strong already. So I would say that some of your thumbnails sometimes can be better. You're getting there, and you're getting consistent on that. So I like that. It looks like you've, in the last 3 or 4 months, gotten super consistent, that you did YouTube and then you dropped off and then you came back. So come back, and you're coming back strong, and I like that. You're frequently uploading. I like that. Don't get discouraged on views. Never pay attention to the view numbers from a discouragement standpoint. Just try to get everything better every time, and just keep making a catalog of good content, my friend, and you'll be fine. So again, I think your channel is strong. I think it's got a lot of potential. I think that TubeBuddy is the thing that'll make the biggest difference for you. I also want to advise everybody, if you really want to grow a YouTube channel, drive traffic from other websites to YouTube, because other websites are YouTube's competitors. It's like if you're McDonald's, selling to the people in McDonald's is one thing. Taking people across the street from Burger King into McDonald's is a whole nother ball game, and you'd rather do that. Like just selling to the people that are already in your thing, and oh, I make videos for my subscribers. That's fine. Taking people from somewhere else and bringing them to you is another thing, and YouTube is not looking at you taking people from another channel. It wants you to take traffic away from Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and all these places, and it counts that more. The biggest problem with most of you trying to grow in YouTube is you're trying to grow an organic following in YouTube only, and you're prioritizing YouTube first and YouTube only. And maybe you could have done that in 2013 or 2010. You cannot do that in 2017 and 2018. It does not work. So, I mean, as evidenced by like all the big Viners. Like, they blew up because they brought traffic from nowhere and grew faster because of it. So rather than doing it purely on YouTube organically as a YouTuber, Snapchat influencers are doing the same thing. Instagram models are coming to YouTube and crushing it. Same reason they're winning in the adpocalypse. They didn't have ad revenue as a crutch. That's why they're better business people than homegrown organic YouTubers, because homegrown organic YouTubers, their business potential is often stunted by the fact that they have ad revenue as passive income, whereas people on Instagram, Snapchat, and people that were from Vine all had to hustle brand deals and merch more aggressively than YouTubers. So, you know, that's the difference. Also, the YouTubers who started before 2013, a lot of them had to hustle harder because you couldn't get into the YouTube Partner Program. It was harder than it is now. Now you get 10,000 views, you can do it. So pre-2013 YouTubers had to become better businessmen and businesswomen than everybody after 2013. So prior to Adpocalypse. So again, I would tell you to keep those things in mind from a growth standpoint. One other constructive criticism, Andreas, is I like more of these pictures angled than straight on. I would prefer this picture, the picture of you that's next to your name here on the right. I prefer that for your profile picture. I think it's better. I think it's cooler. I think it's stronger. I think that that angle is more flattering than the other way around. So that's my advice to you. All right, Larry, security marketing solutions, WordPress, web design, social media marketing, and more. What I love about this is straightforward and tells me everything I need to know about you, Larry Snow. So that's smart. Minor criticism on your channel artwork. Nudge yourself over to the left. The visual spacing, like you had me, but then the visual spacing, that's bothering me now psychologically as a graphic designer. Like I'm having an OCD moment just because of how much there's not enough white space between your head and that S in security. It's really, really getting to me. So move that over to the left, buddy. Let's see. You're almost to 1,000 subscribers. Congrats. Your stuff's going to be more educational in nature. It's going to be how-to. Let's look at your video list here. Your thumbnails aren't bad, and for the niche you're in, the stuff doesn't have to be super fancy, so you're fancy enough and your stuff is good enough as far as thumbnails. It's decent. Your more recent stuff is obviously better than your older stuff, so keep going with this pattern and this trend. Get a few more poses, take a few more photos and get the cutouts for a few more poses that let you alternate sides and other things of that nature. Excuse me. Not a bad job at all. Doing your branding in the corner, that's okay. I don't think it's necessary, but if you want to do it, no problem. For these titles, instead of create a Facebook shop with WooCommerce, it should have been how to create a Facebook shop or how to set up a Facebook shop with WooCommerce, because how to is just more search friendly. I like that you're closed captioning just about all of your content. That's important, not just for SEO, but for a human standpoint. It matters. So I dig that you're doing that. Let's dig into one of your recent videos. How to upload a video to LinkedIn. Maybe you said how to upload video to LinkedIn. I would have probably went with how to upload a video to LinkedIn. All right, so you're doing green screen with the okay, that's close to my friend Steve Dotto's style. That's smart. You're ranking. You're a marketing and SEO guy. Congrats on that. But how to upload a video to LinkedIn is what you're missing here, and that would get searched as well, because how to upload video to LinkedIn, how to upload a video to LinkedIn would be a recommended thing. So again, you might want to get TubeBuddy as well. But like I can check on how to upload a video to LinkedIn. The search volume on that's probably increasing because LinkedIn video is a new product. So average search volume, average competition, you can probably rank #1 for it, and it probably will get more important over time. So having the authoritative video in the early days on that would be important. Also, I don't know that you've done a video about LinkedIn's videos new features. Like, so maybe you do LinkedIn video top 5 things you need to know. So like I would say that your thing that you need, Larry, is you're doing fine when you do your green screen style videos like Steve Dotto's. You're doing fine on the SEO aspect, even though it could be a little bit better. What you probably need is because you're driving business around your consultancy for this, I assume, is you need, in order to establish your expertise, you need to keep going with this kind of content, but you need to increase the number of videos that you upload. You need it to have how-to in the title much more often, and intro to, and how to set up. Those are things that the marketers you're trying to be authoritative with are looking for. The other thing I would say about it is that you probably need content strategy consulting. So if you go to awesomecreatoracademy.com, you can hook up with me for one-on-one coaching with that, because I think that content strategy is your vulnerability, because you need a content strategy that not only will increase your reach on YouTube, but might be able to actually drive more for your business in terms of the solutions that you offer, and also will legitimize you in the marketing community and open up networking and speaking opportunities for you. As someone who's actually done that with my YouTube channel, I believe I'm positioned to help you, Larry. So if you want, definitely reach out to me about that. But from a YouTube standpoint, you're still executing and doing better than most marketers when they start out. Don't worry about the view counts. Your stuff is search friendly. It will get that organically over time. Do a little bit more with regard to moving over this this cutout of you a little bit to the left, just to make that a little bit more design friendly. Your sense of thumbnails is improving incrementally over time. Just take a few more poses. You've seen what my friend Steve Dotto has done with that. I think your execution of it is just as good as his. So just keep going with that. And again, I think your big vulnerability is more content strategy than YouTube things itself, because again, when I looked at your green screen production values, that's perfectly fine. It's actually really good. Theoretically, what I might suggest is if you can figure out how to get your microphone out of frame, or if you can use a lavalier lapel mic, then that could actually do better. So I would look into if you can do that. Solid intro, by the way. So I would say that you're doing well overall. I just think that some minor tweaks could improve it. But I think content strategy aligned to your goals is probably the most important thing that you can do. So that's that. Let me see if we got a few more super chats here that I might not have seen yet, and let's see what some of you guys are saying. Doop. Love TubeBuddy. Oh, thank you. New Game says, does monetizing a video help it rank better in YouTube? I don't think so. For a long time, Casey Neistat didn't monetize his videos, and I've seen other people who aren't monetizing their videos that use it for business. Gary Vee didn't monetize his for a long time. Excuse me. So, Trenton Marshall, happy Thanksgiving, Roberto. What would you like to see tech YouTubers do differently? I'd like to see more tech YouTubers show tech used in the real world. I'd like to see them do specific use cases for how to use a piece of tech to do a specific thing. So I'd like less things about specs and more things that cover use cases. That would be ideal for me. Let's see, we've got another super chat here. Spoon of Consciousness does a podcast. So let's see. What else have we got here in super chat? Kevin the Window Cleaner. What's up, Roberto? Thanks for all the content. Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate that. Appreciate your hustle, buddy. Let's see. Clovertax says YouTube starter kit is awesome. Thank you. Let's see. Rodney B Hunt would love your thoughts, Roberto. Okay, let's see what you got. Roberto is awesome and an inspiration. Oh, thank you, G-rated Family Gaming. Appreciate that. Alex Christian, love you, Roberto. Watching you, Gary V, Chris, etc. For a while, I'm ready to start the journey. Gonna crush everyone. All right, good hustle, my friend. Good hustle. Let's see. Oh, we got tech and tips for YouTube creators. Okay, that's gonna be interesting. I feel like, let's see. So we got a couple of more super chats here. Oh, Dollar Dude, what's up, buddy? Roberto, love this template. However, your face is in high res. It's difficult to read the text in YouTube videos you're reviewing as well as in Super Chat. Any way to fix this? Up to a point. So what I think is that while you're doing it live, that it's going to be hard to see. And I think that when I do the replay, that you'll see it much better. That's been my experience. And then you can actually like see everything. So let's see. How much of a percentage does YouTube take as far as percents via Super Chat donations? They take 30%, which is nothing by comparison to the 55-45 split on regular YouTube ad revenue. So, you know, that's what's up. Ranzo in Japan, your channel is queued up as well. So, like, you know, it's over here. So, again, there are, I'm getting to all of the high dollar Super Chats. So, that is what we're doing here. I'm just like making sure I didn't miss any. So while I'm talking to you guys and reading your comments, I'm also scrolling through and just hitting go to channel so that I can queue up any Super Chats that I might have missed. So let's see. And remember to hit review. Well, or put the words review in there. Like I put instructions in the description for like how to do all of this. So, you know, that's definitely a thing. Let's see. Trade Douglas, I'm assuming that the $15 was that you wanted a channel review as well, even though you didn't paste anything, or maybe your keyboard stuck. So maybe, I don't know. But we'll go ahead and do it. And for those of you who are asking about the Super Chats, the instructions are all in the description down below. So I appreciate that. For those of you watching the replay, we're going to be reviewing some more channels here in a second. And again, also, happy Thanksgiving. It shouldn't need me to zoom in anymore. Like, you should be able to see most of this. I mean, I guess I can try to zoom in a little bit more, but it should be big enough. It's like I'm not shrinking the channels down into the window that much. It's not that small. Like, the real estate is, like, it's only, like, maybe shrunk down by, like, 60%, but, like, you know, for the thing that I'm discussing with the channels, what you see is like contextually, it's like pretty straightforward. So, but like I'll zoom in. I guess I can zoom in a bit because people are asking about it. But it's like it's not that small. So Leila Fox Nation. So this looks like gaming. Even before I zoomed in, this was pixelated, so you might need to do something about that from a resolution standpoint. The thumbnails seem like the biggest vulnerability here. It may be just that you are having issues with YouTube thumbnails. I mean, this is a primary example of where and why I made the YouTube starter kit, because like it looks like you probably have like a gaming channel that does pretty decent content, and that you have a couple of games or a specific game, Heroes of the Storm, that you're focused on, which is I think a World of Warcraft related game. But and it looks like you are templating out your thumbnails, but here's the thing, and you're branding them, but here's the thing, the execution of it is hard to read and it's not great. That's why something like the YouTube starter kit would help you, Leila, because you get access to things like this. Like you're trying to do this diagonal cut thing over here, but if you look at like how it's executed in yours right now versus how I was able to do it because I'm familiar with Photoshop, you just being able to swap out your graphics and your text into something like this would go a long way. Like you could put the Heroes of the Storm logo here or here, like at the bottom, and you could put whatever text you want and then whatever graphic you wanted, whether it's you or whether it's the caricature. So, you know, I would do something more like that, and that probably would work better. And so remember, there's a 50% off discount code for the YouTube starter kit in the link below. That's my Black Friday sale. It's going to the end of the year. But the reason I bring it up is, like, especially on a gaming channel like yours, where gaming is so saturated, but you have a niche, the thumbnails matter, and it's important. And the thing is, your thumbnails look too similar, which could cause confusion to where someone may not click on a video because they might think they've already watched this because the thumbnail is so similar. And you're doing a lot of content. Let's take a look at what you've got going on. All right, so you've got that going on. Okay. Green screen. So your video production and your stuff is fine. You're a streamer. It looks like you are probably someone who plays Twitch. So all of that is great, but the descriptions are so minimal, and you need that to help with the ranking. And then your tags are minimal, so you need a slightly more robust description, slightly better tags, and obviously better thumbnails. And again, I know that thumbnails, everyone's not good at them because not everyone's good at Photoshop. That's like my skill set. That's why templates help. And you're making a template for your thumbnails anyway. It's just that you may not be a Photoshop wizard. So what I would say is that without being a Photoshop wizard, and good enough is good enough, that you could take something like any of these and you would be able to get better looking thumbnails with what you have. And the same thing for channel artwork as well. It can be better if you have something to work with where you can just drop in your own pictures and replace your text in a template. So that's why I recommend something like that, and that's why building tools. Like I was inspired by TubeBuddy to start building tools for YouTubers, because like popular channels related to you are like Jacksepticeye and Markiplier and Gamer Grumps. And like when you look at Jack's like thumbnails, they're insanely good. Now it's not a matter of you comparing yourself to like Jack, but it's like Jack had humble beginnings when it comes to his thumbnails too. If I sort it by order, if it lets me do it, if I go to like his oldest stuff, like even his old stuff, it wasn't anything that fancy, but he evolved his style over time, and eventually it went from being ridiculously simplistic to being eventually over the years what you have today. So again, starting very simplistic is one thing, but now there are resources and things that can help you do really good thumbnails very early in your YouTube career, and it's affordable. So again, you don't have to wait until you're bigger to do good looking thumbnails like these. There are ways around it, and I think that in the case of your channel, that you can do thumbnails as good as the people in your niche with a little bit of help. Because like with this Here's the Storm stuff, what I would do in that situation is I'd probably take like this character, like because it's a really good image of the screen cap of that character, and then the Heroes of the Storm logo, and I'd probably put that like over here, and then you could put yourself in white over here, and then sometimes you can do it the opposite way, and that would give you like something really good looking for this, because it's the style of thumbnail you kind of want to do anyway. So that's what I would say about it. Your like execution of your green screen is perfect. Okay, your execution of your green screen is perfect. Your titles are good, and it's about the game that you're playing, which is a staple in YouTube gaming. But then your descriptions and your tags need to improve a little bit, and you need channel artwork that isn't as pixelated. So even, again, I know I'm zoomed in, but it was pixelated even without it. So I would just work on those things. So Leila Fox Nation, you got potential. Just like keep grinding and get incrementally better at everything, and use the tools at your disposal. So let's see, Spoon Graphics. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more on this because, again, everybody's saying, oh, zoom in, zoom in. It's small. Okay. So, like, this should be big enough now to satisfy that. Let's see. Oh, I see some more Super Chats came in. I'll get to those other Super Chats that just came in a minute. So let's see. and we got musician, and we got some other stuff. So, yep. Spoon of consciousness. Let's raise your frequency. First thing, channel artwork. Channel artwork really matters, guys. So like I would say that we've talked about this, and part of it is that channel artwork is one of those things that helps a channel be taken seriously. Like, I mean, prime example, related channels. Let's look at Gary Vaynerchuk's YouTube channel. So when you see Gary Vaynerchuk's YouTube channel, and he's always had like really good branding for a long time since the Ask Gary V show days, right? Like Gary V, this is a legit but very clean, very simple thumbnail, and it tells you something very important. Gary V, new videos every day, and it's got some YouTuber-y things going on here, and it's got a nice photograph. And then look at his thumbnail strategy, okay? And it's got the diagonal cut. It stands out in YouTube. It's got the black and yellow. That's like important. Ask Gary V show is branded a certain way. Daily V is branded a certain way. The other stuff is branded in a very specific way. Like, you see what I'm getting at with visuals mattering and that being taken seriously, right? Let's then, by comparison, go here. And it's not about comparing. It's about saying, if I'm going to be a related channel, what's the level that I'm like expected to hit if people are watching this and then watching me? You're doing much better on the thumbnails. That's very close. You're almost there on the thumbnails. But there are some things that could be better. And we'll talk about that. You might be overdoing the strokes. Like, cut those back by 50% in width. As a graphic designer, I'll tell you, like, toning that down by 50 to 30% goes a long way. But the channel artwork right off the bat, I think, has to be different. I think it has to be better. Daily personal development videos. I like that you tell me the value proposition, but your logo here in the background is distracting me. It doesn't mean anything to me, and it's making everything harder to read, and that's a problem. And also, these fonts don't match, and those things are distracting. So I think that you have to get that branding and then match the fonts a little bit closer to the thumbnail fonts. Those things from a visual branding standpoint are extremely important. Do not underestimate that. Let's look at this. Thumbnails. The color text, the color pairings on the text don't work. You would have been better served with just doing the black and white thing. But this thumbnail is much better than the rest of these thumbnails. But again, the spoon of consciousness, I get what you're doing here. The logo is too big. A common thing in graphic design is that graphic designers keep struggling with clients to tell them, we don't care about your logo. No one cares about your logo. No one cares about your logo. Make it as small as possible. Like, all right, look. Like, Apple had all this real estate. They could have made this Apple logo huge. It's minimal. That's important. They had all this real estate. They made this as small as possible, and that's very elegant. Like, as much as I criticize Apple, they get branding and aesthetic done very, very well. Google and the Google Pixel, 2XL. Again, very minimal logo for all the real estate they had. They kept it minimal. Okay, so in the thumbnails, for the love of God, minimize your logos, people. Like, no one cares about your logo. You care about your logo. No one else does. No one's interested in your logo. Hate to tell you. But that's just the truth, right? What we're interested in is we're interested in context. I'd rather you make the subject bigger. I'd rather you make their name bigger if it's somebody that I care about, that I want to get information from. Like, if you were interviewing Gary V and you let this take up more real estate than the name Gary V or Gary Vaynerchuk, that would be a devastating mistake and a missed opportunity, right? So you have to get past this, like getting your logo out there. Get past it, get over it. Now, in the channel artwork, this logo and putting that over there on the left-hand side, and then putting subscribe and notification bell graphics over on the right-hand side, then your message of, like, I wouldn't have gone with the let's raise your frequency. I would have, again, spoon of consciousness, at the top your name, that's context, and then single line underword, daily videos on personal development, or daily videos helping you with personal development, because then that tells me what the value proposition is for me. What do I get out of this channel? What am I spending my time on? That's for me. Okay, context. So I would prioritize context and what the value is up front over the branding every single time. That's what you want to do. I mean, you figured it out here. Here, you went with Gary V's face and what have you. But maybe you should have put his name in here, and you should have put like Gary V, and then question mark exclamation point, or Gary V and 3 question marks, because then I'll pay attention to that. I'm curious. Wait, Gary? So that's interesting. So again, these are things that I would look at. I think that if you look at the thumbnail strategy of, say, Charisma on Command, there's a lot you can learn from that channel as well. So I would say that there is a lot you can do that would improve the visual branding of this channel a lot, and that would go a long way to getting more clicks and views, and thus more subscribers. So there's that. From a production value standpoint, with the white balance by clicking against the wall in your software, or just light it better in general. The editing and jump cuts seem fine. It seems like your pacing is fine, but I don't know how valuable it is to do it against the whiteboard. The coloring is a little yellow. It looks like there's almost no color grading, or probably no color grading, and it's just being taken straight out of camera. And everything seems to have an orangey tint to it. So again, white balance it differently, color grade it differently. And also, instead of just talking head, I would intersperse some show and tell, either with graphics or with cutting to full screen imagery of something, to do it more like in video essay format. So that's something I would pay attention to. Use the first 3 lines of the description more. So I would have moved this up instead of doing a line break, because that will work better in terms of context for viewer and for YouTube. Tagging strategy seems to be fine, seems to be working out well for you. So those are my thoughts, spoon of consciousness, on what you can do for your channel. And again, don't just watch Gary Vaynerchuk, watch what he actually does. Don't just listen to him. Don't just watch him. Look at what he actually does. For those of you just tuning in, or for those of you who are this far into the replay, welcome and thank you. Let's just cut away from the screen for a minute so I can just talk to you guys for a quick second. So what we're doing is we're doing YouTube channel reviews via Super Chat. I've been doing this for about an hour now. I'm going to finish up probably the ones we have and the bigger ones that have already donated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a time marker pretty much right now on any additional donations via Super Chat for reviews. Instructions are in the description, so read those first before you do this. If you want a review, follow the instructions, please. I'm going to be very scrutinizing about that, because we're only going to take any additional submissions for 5 more minutes, because I've already got a bunch of channels queued up. I've still got another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've got 11 more channel reviews to crush through, and I need to do it in about 45 minutes to an hour. So we're only taking any additional review request based on following the instructions down below for the next 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, I'm not taking any more channel reviews based on time. So make sure people are aware of that in the chat live right now if you're live. And so that's what we're going to be doing. A big focus here, and a big vulnerability that nearly every single channel has had to contend with, has been their branding, their channel artwork, their thumbnails, things that they need to do graphically a little bit better. And so there are some things that you can do. Like, if you can't afford Photoshop, there's a thing called Affinity Photo. It's for Mac and PC. It's $60 and has majority of the features in Photoshop, and it's $60 forever. Now, most of you, in my mind, should be able to handle Adobe Photoshop because there's a $10 a month subscription, and you get Adobe Lightroom for photographers with that as well, and you get cloud, like 20 gigs of cloud hosting. So I think that like Adobe Photoshop is practical and affordable now, but if you don't want to pay a monthly fee on something like that, then Affinity Photo is $60, and Photoshop Elements is also opens up Photoshop files. Both of these can open up Photoshop files and have most of the features, but Adobe Photoshop Elements is like $60 or $70 dollars. So I would look at that. You can get it in a bundle with Premiere Elements to video edit as well, and that could be something that you get, I think, in a bundle for $125. So you have photo editing and video editing for that, and that could really help you. So those are things that I would definitely look into that can like make the visual branding, the thumbnails, the titles, everything better for your YouTube channel. So I think that that's something super important. Now I'm going through and I'm looking for the super chats that I might have missed. And again, I gave specific instructions in the description down below for the number of super chats that we have and for the amount of time available. I cannot do channel reviews for people with that did $2 super chats. I apologize if $2 is all you had. But my recommendation to you would be that there's like 200 plus YouTube tips videos on this channel. Those can probably really help you if you're on a budget, and it's not the same thing as personal and direct advice, but it probably is more than good enough to get you a lot further along than you currently are. So, you know, if you can't meet the requirements that are in the description down below, I would definitely recommend that you watch the YouTube Tips channel videos on this channel, that you watch Daryl Eves, Tim Schmoyer, and, you know, people of that nature, because I think that the YouTube Tips channels can help you a lot more. And I think that, you know, if you're a very, very small YouTuber, what you probably don't need is more advice about your channel specifically. You're probably just not doing best practices. And that's just the honest truth of the matter, is that you don't need someone to hold your hand with your YouTube channel. Probably if you're under 100 subscribers, what you need to do is more content, and you need to do more best practices, and you need to get better at probably channel artwork, thumbnails, and like look at your niche, you know, very carefully and do more research probably than anything is what I would say. So, you know, that's practical. So, all right, I've queued up some more stuff based on super chats I missed, and also some recent ones that we got from Gates 3 Design and Financial Education. So, what I'm going to do is for the rest of the stream, and I saw Weavers of Eternity. Don't worry, your thing is queued up. If you didn't see that, your thing is queued up. And Third Eye View, I know you've super chatted before, so you're going to get one. We're literally... All right, so I've queued up a bunch of super chats, and this is probably going to take the better part of an hour. I'm going to have to power through them. And I don't like doing 2-hour live streams, guys. So here's what I'm going to do. Super chat submissions are now closed for any super chats that are like under $25. All submissions are closed, and I would only take 1 or 2 more at the end. But other than that, we're done, because I've gotten like a ridiculous amount of channels queued up, and that's pretty much it. And I went through everybody that did at least a $10 super chat and queued up their channel at this point. So we're done. Like, we're essentially done unless someone donates something insane. That's it. Like, because I can't, like, literally, the physical stamina to do more than a 2-hour live stream physically is not practical. I do not recommend it for any of you. As it is, it's pushing the limits of what physically I think I'm capable of from, like, a voice standpoint and things like that. So we're going to get through the next couple of reviews going forward. And again, I put all the information people need in the description, so people should know what's going on. It's called follow instructions. Can we follow instructions? So, that's just, again, it's a practical measure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to queue up the remainder of the channels for Super Chat here in my interface. Fancy. And again, I did zoom in a little bit more because people were saying that they want to be able to see it a little bit better. So we've got that going on. And again, reminder, if what you're struggling with is your thumbnails and channel artwork, go to awesomecreatoracademy.com and check out the YouTube Starter Kit. The YouTube Starter Kit is a new product I put together. I'm doing a Black Friday sale for 50% off. Links and the discount code 450 is in the description below. Again, dozens of assets, and you can do thumbnails just like the biggest YouTubers without any graphic design background. You can figure out fonts and layout, channel artwork, as well as end card strategy. All of that is Photoshop templates you can download. And again, you can use GIMP, you can use Affinity Photo, you can use Photoshop Elements, you can use Photoshop if you have it. Grab a 30-day free trial of Photoshop. So I have this on my Black Friday sale. It's one of the things that I'm doing a discount on, 50% till the end of the year for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So just go to awesomecreatoracademy.com, use the link and the discount code, and get 50% off of that. And you can stop sucking at YouTube thumbnails, and they can be awesome because I helped you. And you can just plug in your stuff. So just some cool stuff there. And I want to make more products that help YouTubers. So speaking of someone who helps YouTubers, we got Rodney B Hunt with a YouTube tech and tips channel for creators. So I see a lot of this happening. I see a lot of channels doing YouTube tips, and it's fine. Doesn't bother me. A lot of my homies like Brian G. Johnson, Nick Nimmin, Sean Canal, Benji, Tim, Owen, we all hang. Eileen, I've known Eileen for years, back in the days when Meerkat was a thing. Rest in peace, Meerkat. For those of you who don't remember the live streaming app previous to Periscope and Facebook Live, Meerkat, Gary Vee put a lot of us onto that. There were a lot of people who became social media rock stars because of Meerkat. And so, that really is important. Wow, I said do something crazy, and somebody actually did something crazy. Someone just did a $30 super chat. So, wow, that's nice. So yeah, you'll definitely get into the lineup. But the thing that I do like about your channel is I like the color scheme and branding, but here are some things that you need to fix that are doing wrong. This is fine, but the stacking makes it rather plain. I would have rather that some of those things tilted at an angle, and it would have been more interesting. I mean, Nick Nimmin's done that really well, for example. But then from a Photoshop standpoint, your shoulder is cut off here. Just do another photo shoot, man. Grab another, grab a smartphone, have someone take a picture of you, grab a camera, have someone take a picture of you to where it's not cut off at the shoulder like that. And you can have that for your channel artwork because you're doing the same thing in your thumbnails, and it's obvious that this was made for the thumbnails, but it's also just one pose. Even the rest of us, we template our stuffs, but we don't just do the one pose. Do a branded photo shoot with yourself with different poses, different facial expressions. Different facial expressions. Do things like that. Do a photo shoot, and then make that for your thumbnails. So don't ignore the basics. You're doing a YouTube tips channel, but if you're going to ignore the basics for the branding and design, it's going to undermine your credibility with the YouTube creators that you're trying to help, even if you're giving good advice. So, that's practical. And maybe you decide to do a YouTube tips channel because maybe you feel like some of us were doing it that's over people's heads or something. Trooper. Okay, Trooper did a $50 super chat. That's going to be the last one. You had a really solid intro, Rodney, so that, your intro and your typography, that is better than what we see represented in your thumbnail strategy here. The execution of your thumbnails from a visual standpoint doesn't match up with the great, production value of what you're doing here with the editing and with the animated intro stuff. you know? So that's not lining up. The quality is misrepresented there. So what I would say is from a production standpoint, like your editing and your motion graphics, that stuff is good. Look at this. This is better than a lot of people much bigger than you, right? Better than what I was doing when I started by far. So why is it the thumbnails are not reflective of that? And that's the first thing that we click on. So like Rodney, my big advice for you right off the bat, Rodney, go to Awesome Creator Academy and grab that YouTube starter kit. Use the 50% off code, buddy. Like, it matters because this is not reflected in those thumbnails, buddy. Like, this quality up here is not reflected in those thumbnails. The other thing I would say from a production value standpoint, I love that you're using B-roll. But I also think that your color grading can be a little bit better. You might want to increase the exposure, and if the angle allows for it, shift the camera angle a little bit to where we get the stuff that's back there in the background, the shelf still in the shot, but we get less of the door. It's fine, and it doesn't have to be perfect. The door is slightly distracting, like because I keep thinking it's going to open up, but that's just my OCD, so that might be it. Description is decent, but the title should have probably been to how to choose a camera for YouTube videos. That would have probably contextually been better. Let's see how you're ranking in TubeBuddy. Your approach to tagging was good. The execution of it probably could have been better. And if you're going to do which camera should I buy for YouTube, that probably should have been the title. Maybe you could even went with how to buy a camera for YouTube hyphen camera buyer's guide. That probably would have been really good. So I would have done that. And then on the thumbnail for that, with how to choose a camera, it would have been nice to see a camera somewhere in the thumbnail because that's context. The thumbnails feel way too templated, way too repetitive. And again, I think just changing poses by itself would have made a huge difference. So that's what I advise. The other thing is the white outline strategy in general works good, but not with a yellow background because there's not enough contrast visually between yellow and white. That's visually very hard to accomplish. Did you ever have trouble color correcting videos at first, Roberto? I initially didn't have as much trouble color correcting videos because I had a background in photo editing, and then I could use those skills in Adobe Premiere, and I've done several tutorials that help you with that, but one would argue that even I don't always get it perfect. It depends on what screen I'm using sometimes. I'm having some issues with my color grading right now because I have to adjust for the saturation differences and brightness differences on my Mac when I edit on my laptop versus my custom dual screen PC setup, which has also been color calibrated. So sometimes that's an issue. So my advice to you, Rodney, first of all, I don't like the grain effect in the channel artwork, and I think that could be better. You're cut off at the shoulder. You need to fix that. A better photo shoot can matter. Again, the visual elements of your graphics and some of your titling and descriptions and tagging needs improvement, but again, you have to at least get the basics of thumbnails and channel artwork to be done very effectively in order to have credibility when giving the YouTube tips advice, because it's going to undermine you. Not having good thumbnails and then giving YouTube advice is not going to go over well when you're trying to encourage new creators to do best practices. And the thing is, you understand good editing and you understand good framing and pacing, and you have a basis of the understanding of good YouTube SEO and titling. But your execution of your thumbnails is going to undermine all of that in the eyes of the community when they look at your channel and then they look at Sean Canal and video influencers and Tim Schmoyer and Daryl Eves and Nick Nimmin and Brian G. Johnson and the thumbnails that they have. Your stuff has to stand up to that, and it can with just a little bit more effort. So, I would just keep that in mind. All right, so music and randomness. Kirk Zemini. Okay, so not the worst YouTube channel artwork I've ever seen in the world, but music and randomness, I would have liked to have seen that in the center or something. There's a lot going on in this channel artwork. And the thing is, I think that the way it's structured and organized has to be better to just give me a sense of what's going on, because it has a lot of things it could have been doing right. It was just not a great execution of it. You got 100 subscribers. Okay, cool. Channel artwork and covers yet again are the vulnerability here again. It seems to be the recurring theme. It's like, it's a good thing I made the YouTube starter kit, because it seems to be like that people Casey Neistat fixed YouTube production values. Everyone can do good YouTube production values because Casey Neistat made them step their game up. Thank you, Casey. So there's that, right? He made us not have sucky audio and get better camera gear and use stabilization gear properly and that beautiful drone footage. The problem is that people make really good YouTube videos and their thumbnails don't sell those good videos anymore. So if I look at something like this is your latest video. There's nothing wrong with your video quality. And then if you're going to be doing a cover for a guitar, this is fine. This is how YouTube started, to be frank. Like, this is the kind of video that made Justin Bieber Justin Bieber. The problem is that today, YouTube is so competitive in terms of harnessing attention that thumbnails matter. And then simple things like this. You have the watermark here, but it's still got the white background behind it. If that had been a PNG file with transparency, it would just look better as far as a subscribe thing. So like, that's a weakness. Maybe I need to do some watermarks and add those to the YouTube starter kit. But like, I would have rather seen a photo. This is a photo as a still by itself, and then maybe some text over on the right hand side of this. I would have rather seen that by itself without this black bar and like these different colors of text, because that doesn't really do anything for me. I would have rather had a close-up of, you know, your hands and your fingers as a photo with the guitar. So my advice to you for a channel where you're doing your music covers is to think about this the way that you would, if I was doing anything with music and I was a musician. I'm going to tell all of you what I would do as a musician. I would do every one of my YouTube thumbnails the way that I would do this as an album cover if I were selling a single. If I were selling a single album on the shelves, what would my album cover look like? That's what I would do with my YouTube thumbnails. If I was doing a concert and I was doing a billboard, what would that look like? So my advice to you is, like, your production values for what they are and for what you do are fine. You, my friend, better thumbnails and better channel artwork. I would like to see channel artwork that shows you in different photos and poses as a musician a lot more than I want to read all of this text, because then that gives me context. That gives me, like, I understand what's going on here. So I'd rather see that. Yeah, like, overwhelmingly, like, that's how music channels, like, branding, man. Like, all the money in, like, the music industry, a lot of it goes to marketing and branding, and that's where this is all falling short. So again, I hope that makes sense. Joseph S. Joe Stat. So this looks like a Bitcoin info channel. If you're going to do videos like this that have a talking head in the corner, again, I recommend designing an interface like this one for things like that, because, or again, you could have put it over in the right hand side, because look at all this blank white space compared to these spreadsheets. So that's something that I would do differently, or in your case, you could have green screened if you wanted to. So there's that. Let's look at the thumbnails for this. And again, you're riding an interesting trend right now. Like, Bitcoin is an interesting trend. You have 151 subscribers. I think that you can blow this up. I think you can definitely go bigger if you focus on Bitcoin. If you make this channel all about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, I think for where the attention around that is, you could do well. Here's the issue I'm having is you're doing interesting thumbnails, but they're not executed that well. And then, like I said, going into your videos, I think there's a better execution of what you're trying to do that makes you stand out, because doing this, you're blocking so much of the panel in the interface. I think there are more effective ways to do that. Like right here, there's nothing in the bottom left-hand corner. We don't need that much screen real estate of your face for context here. So you could put that in the bottom left-hand corner here where there's nothing going on, and we'd lose none of the actual real estate of the screen. So I think that that's important. And then your descriptions are way too minimal. You need to put more information in the descriptions here, and the tags could be better. And I don't think you're ranking for that many of them. So you probably will want to use TubeBuddy, and you probably want to get some more suggestions on what you could tag your videos with. And then I think that that would be more practical. And so again, I would do some more research on that. I would look into Google Trends to see what you can find about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency there. So you have this really cool channel artwork, but then it's falling short in these thumbnails. And again, some of them are better than others, but in terms of context, we need more context. Like this one's okay-ish, but stuff that has the Bitcoin graphics and things that are more Bitcoin related, or things even like this, are going to do probably better overall. Or even things like this. See, you're capable of doing a good thumbnail. These thumbnails down here are a little bit better, but you're lacking in consistency, and there's a lack in consistency and quality. And then you did this like cell phone vertical video. Like vertical videos are forbidden on YouTube. It's like never do them again. But you're entirely capable of doing good thumbnails. I would just put more effort into them, and I would prioritize that. So I think that's important. So I gave you some tips on the fact that you need to improve the overall thumbnail strategy, but also your SEO and discoverability. Because again, Bitcoin is everybody's doing stuff about Bitcoin right now. Like you can ride that wave and you can siphon a lot of attention from that, but not with really not great thumbnails and not great descriptions and metadata and search friendliness. I think that that's important. And then from a production value standpoint, I gave you like some pretty good advice on doing the face cam part the right way. All right, so we've got a Spanish YouTube channel here now. For context, again, I haven't really spoken or really tried to since my grandmother passed, so I'm like really not going to be able to read anything here out loud. So my commentary on this is going to be from a branding standpoint. And from a branding standpoint, one of the first things is that I can't scroll much more in this, which means that you need to use more featured playlist on the YouTube homepage. The channel artwork, I think, can be dramatically better. There's no reason not to have the big circle in the center for your name and then flank everything else with the text and then put the subscribe button over on the right. So I think that that's important. Thumbnail strategy, it looks like some of your thumbnail strategy is somewhat borrowed from my buddy Brian G. Johnson as far as the last 3 videos. The rest of this stuff, your thumbnails need to be better. Your thumbnails need to be more like this if that's the direction you're going. It looks like you cover a variety of topics without any consistency, because you have some stuff that looks serious here that's about productivity and things of that nature and about work. But then you have stuff that's here about Dragon Ball Z. Then you have stuff that's here about Facebook and social media. So there's a big lack of consistency. So I would say that's an issue. Irish Boy, not doing reviews for $5 super chats. Read the instructions in the description down below. So the most I'll do is say hi, and if you have a question, I can answer a question. But we're not doing super chat reviews for $5. And I also closed out taking more reviews after our big spenders on 30 and 50 there. So we had to do that. Sorry about that. But again, super practical. Speaking of super practical, I don't think that thumbnails in the future with these bars above and below are going to make sense for people, and they're not going to be practical, because the way YouTube works is YouTube's also taking up the very top of a thumbnail for its own embedded text. And you see also that takes up the right-hand corner and the bottom right-hand corner and the top right-hand corner. So I'd stop prioritizing graphics in those locations because that becomes important. So those are things I would say. Color pairings. Learn, if you guys are going to do color pairings for your thumbnails, learn from the sports teams. The sports teams did massive research into color theory. So if you can't come up with how to match colors on your own, or you can't use a color wheel, just pick sports team combinations and you'll do a lot better. So that's my advice on the visuals for this channel because of, again, I'm not fluent in Spanish. Let's see. Corby's Corner, learn, play, review. Kids safe, family friendly. All right, so no Elsa Gate. Thank you, Corby. Channel artwork isn't bad. Channel artwork isn't bad. You got some featured playlist on the channel, so that's really good. Let's look at the videos. Let's look at your video thumbnails. From what we saw from the preview, the production values are probably fine. Oh, wow, these are actually pretty good thumbnails. Some of them can be better than others, but overall, these are fine. How many subscribers? You got 75 subscribers, and this is the views you're getting? So I think that that's actually pretty good. Your thing is going to come down, Corby, partly to frequency of uploads by uploading as often as possible, because right now you're doing, like, it looks like once a week. I think your channel will grow if you go to twice a week, if you can handle that, and if your family can handle that. I also think that truly kid-safe stuff is important. But some of your thumbnails, the fonts are not good. Go to clean sans serif fonts. Don't do any of the serif-based fonts. Stick to stuff that's more closer to like the Roblox and Lego style fonts and things of that nature. Bubbly fonts, hard-edged fonts. Try to be consistent a little bit on the fonts, or consistent with child brands on the fonts. Keep the text minimum, though, because if it's families and friendlies, keep the text minimum. Learn from the brands on that. But colorful stuff and stuff that's photo-based is doing really well for you. So continue to do that. I think that for you guys, it's mostly going to come down to, it's smart for you to be doing the borders on your thumbnails, so I like that. Your channel's getting good views for the amount it is. Your other strategy thing is distribute this stuff in family groups, or build a family group on Facebook for family-friendly content and YouTube channels and support, and that will probably help you. So do that, and find online communities and threads that are family-friendly and distribute the content. Your thing is going to be getting more awareness, and going directly to those communities are more important. And thank you guys for letting people know that I can't take any more channel reviews. After we do the last one for $20, we can't take any more at all, no matter what, because I'm already an hour and a half in. I do not have the stamina for a 3-hour stream. It's just not going to happen. So I apologize. I can't take any more review requests after that. What I can do is I can take questions or support, but, like, you know, that's the most I can do on that, because I can't go into these in-depth reviews the way I like for 5 minutes if I keep taking them indefinitely, and I'll run out of steam. So we can't do it. But yeah, Corby's Corner, my thing would be strategy. So look at the trends in the family communities that are doing this kind of stuff. Slime videos, Elmer's. Look at all the kid-friendly brands and the brands that market to kids, and get on their radar. Do more of the Lego stuff. Like, this is really cool. And again, thumbnails, and take lots of photos. You probably take a lot of photos of your kids anyway, so just take lots of photos around this stuff and then use that. And like, I really dig this channel. It's like, it's one of the things where it's like, I can't wait to have kids. Irish boy, I'm gonna get yours just because yours is the last one. I'm gonna get it in, but like, that's the last one. But like, for this, this kind of channel makes me want to have kids, because like, I really enjoyed this kind of stuff with my family growing up, and my dad was a big guy with as far as G.I. Joes, and it makes me think about that. Like, and my uncle and me were really into Legos. He was like 8 years older than me, and we were always building stuff to get like that makes me think about this. So I would just say, um, that. Beamer Man, I still got you, but yeah, reach out to me about the consulting side. Um, but I still will give you like a short little review on that because I did queue yours up, so don't worry about it. But yeah, Corby, you're doing well for like a small channel under 100. And I would say that the community outreach part of going into like Facebook groups and forums is really what's going to help your channel grow and keep doing what you're doing and really utilize a photo based strategy because the photos are the things that seem to perform the best. I don't think you need to do the Corby's Corner branding on the videos anymore, to be frank. I think it's more distracting than anything. I think the photos will do it on its own. I think that the experience that you're selling people on and the family friendliness is clear in the photos without you needing to go overboard on a branding. I don't think you need the branding. Remember, nobody cares about your logo. Nobody. So I would go that route. Nice channel. Pickle Star, new skits every Tuesday. Okay, the font here, it's harder to read, and it's trying to be clever. I would have rather it just be clear. So there's that, and I also would have picked a different font. It just feels way too chunky. Like 1K subscribers. So you're a skits and comedy channel. Let's see what you got here. All right, you're a skits and comedy channel. Visual branding wise, first thing I'm going to say about thumbnails. Take Logan Paul's thumbnail strategy. Not even joking. Like, you're someone who would definitely benefit from the YouTube starter kit. Link in the description below. Black Friday sale, 50% off. So if you want to check that out. But basically, you can go to awesomecreatoracademy.com. You can use the discount code for 50 spelled out, and you'll get the YouTube starter kit for 50% off. And you can do better thumbnails because if you look at thumbnails like this and channel artwork like this, and then if you go back over here, I think it could make a difference. You're getting views. People like your content. People think you're funny. But it really helps you not bomb a video compared to doing 1,000 views last week to 50 views a couple of days ago if the thumbnails are better. And also if the thumbnails don't look so similar, even if you're going to do bloopers. And again, really pay attention to what Logan Paul is doing with thumbnails. I think it could help. And again, it looks like your cinematography is fine. This reminds me of Hot Damn I Rock, Kane Carter, back in the day. So I like this, and I like that you have multiple people in your thing. So your content stuff can be good. Again, maybe slightly better color grading that's more consistent because there are things where like stuff feels more orange. There's things where things feel more muted. So editing can always get better. But again, you're structuring good videos. You're telling a story and people like your stuff. So guess what? The thing is you're not packaging it well with the channel artwork, the profile pic, and the thumbnails. So visuals are super, super important. They are insanely important. So I would just take a look at that. And guys, if you're in the super chat and I'm not seeing what you guys are talking about or the conversation going on, here's the thing I would encourage. Some of you who have listened to my advice and have benefited from it, if you can help some of the people out who are saying, oh, they still need advice or they want someone to look at their thumbnails, I would ask and I would encourage some of you to just like help those people out, take a quick peek and tell them what they're doing wrong because you probably by this point know what I'm going to say. You probably can tell them what I'm going to say and that might help them out and it probably will take 1 or 2 minutes. So I would just encourage that if you feel like being helpful. And you know, that's what I appreciate about this community. This community is amazing and you guys do help each other out with stuff like that. Don't ask for it in the comment section though. That goes into my spam filter because it just becomes a problem and it becomes people just trying to like promote their channel and I don't love that. So like, and it doesn't work because like if people come to one channel, they're really not interested about the channel that's in the comment section, to be frank. Like it doesn't work. Shout outs don't even really do anything for the same reason. and no one's ever blown up by being reviewed on this channel. The most that's happened is sometimes people get more business out of being reviewed on this channel if they're doing something business related, but not YouTube growth or subscribers. That comes from the work that they do to make their channel better. Like Stolen Sandwich, there's so many ways that this could have been a better thumbnail and be packaged and everything like that. I can only imagine what Logan or Jake would have done for a thumbnail for this, like, and it would have been like insane. I mean, the answer to Stolen Sandwich would have been to, like, thumbnail strategy wise, like, do something that's like really like feels like Grand Theft Auto-ish. You know, I mean, there's just so many things that you could do to improve the visuals, and that would go a long way. Because again, your problem isn't making good content. Your problem is the way you're packaging it. So that's my advice, Pickle Star. Jizzy Credits, which I believe is Gilmore. Again, thumbnails. Thumbnails tell a story. Thumbnails give context. Thumbnails, let me see what, like, does Credit Karma have a YouTube channel? I think they do. All right, so they're taking advantage of their thumbnails aren't that great either. I was hoping that Credit Karma's thumbnails were great. Okay, so that's crappy. So Gil, for your channel, for a thumbnail strategy, look at what Dollar Dude is doing. To be honest, look at what Dollar Dude is doing. And I think that your thumbnail strategy will get better. Some of your thumbnails, the photos is stretched, they're squashed, and there's a bunch of text that no one's ever going to read. I would say that what you should do is you should do a photo shoot, and you should think about what you would do if you were going to be on a billboard. I would have rather, like this thing at the top, this thumbnail was almost perfect. Here's the problem. Instead of all of this text in a font with all the outlines that I can't even read, I would have preferred that this thumbnail had white text and had been much more simple. And Georgia customer gets whatever. That doesn't, like, do it. The title that you have does it. I would just, like, put, you know, fix your credit in white text, and it's like, okay, click. Like, that's context. Just keep if you're going to use fonts and type, keep it simple and make the title something that's about the value proposition to other people. Like, again, this another $99 credit repair system, that means something to people, right? So your thumbnails are your biggest vulnerability as well. And again, it's an easy fix. And that's why I made the YouTube starter kit, is specifically because I get that everyone's not a Photoshop wizard, but you don't have to be if you can just throw in your own text and a title, and that's why I keep making these assets and throwing them into this kit. So again, links are in the description, Black Friday sale discount code in the description, and yes, I'm going to keep plugging it because every channel we've looked at could have done better thumbnails except for 2 or 3, and thumbnails are what get clicks. If you can't get a view if you can't get a click. If you can't get a view and a click, you can't get a subscriber. If you can't do that, you can't grow. And a lot of you have good quality content, and that's not your problem. Your problem isn't good camera gear. Your problem isn't good lighting. Your problem isn't good editing. Your stuff isn't good cinematography. The problem is your packaging. Because look at this. This is like decent intro. Again, white font probably would have worked better. Color grading here could have been better. Your editor, if their editor is doing it, or if you're doing it in Final Cut Pro, just make it less orange. But again, the information, this is an information-based channel. I wouldn't have done the infomercial thing of putting yourself like this. It's an effect from, I think, Final Cut Pro or iMovie, and it's unnecessary. I wouldn't have done that. So you're giving quality information. You're helping people repair their credit. You don't have to be fancy. I would have preferred you to be behind your desk. I would have preferred you to be behind your desk like Gary Vaynerchuk or Alex Becker and speak to me kind of from a position of it as an expert and an authority. So I would have preferred that. And that would be different. So from a cinematography standpoint, like and subscribe. That means nothing to somebody in context. When someone's searching for this video, it means nothing to them. You need to give them the information in 3 lines about what this video is about or what they're going to learn. Tell them what they're going to learn. Just like if you were a public speaker, you'd write a description for your talk in 3 lines that tells people what they're going to learn from your session. So that's my advice for you there. Again, thumbnails, super important. Channel artwork. I feel like this channel artwork could have been better. I feel like I want to see more of your face for one thing, and I want to see you in the suit. You're a professional looking dude, so I want to see that. If you're going to talk about credit, don't, like this video from 3 years ago, it's one of your most popular videos, but the problem is you need to make a new one of this where you're in your suit and you look professional, because, you know, in your gym workout gear and with the face cam, it's undermining the credibility, especially with how you present yourself now. I know that you probably don't want to lose that video because it's so popular. I wouldn't feature it as your big, just because it's the biggest video. I wouldn't do that. I would get something more recent up there that makes you look better. And again, I just want the branding of this to just be a lot better. I want it to focus. And then here's the other thing is, just because you have these popular uploads that have nothing to do with credit repair, if your channel is about credit repair now, you need to unlist these videos. Yes, your overall view count is going to go down. Yes, you probably are a little bit proud that you've got videos that have over 100K views or 50K views, but if they have nothing to do with credit, and like Barry White and 80s and stuff like that, if this channel is about me learning about credit, all this undermines your credibility, pun intended. So those are things I would change about your channel, and I definitely think that helps. Your channel is also business oriented. Your channel might be the kind that might need to reach out to me for one-on-one consulting. Ronzo asks, I wonder if updating thumbnails weeks after the initial video upload will be beneficial. I've done it, and it certainly helps, so I would recommend it. I've gotten a lot of improvement by literally updating my thumbnails after the fact. All right, financial education. Bordering on silver play button. All right, awesome, buddy. You've almost got one of these. So keep hustling. Keep going. Let me get that back on the wall without breaking it. I used to be good at that. There we go. So financial education. First of all, your channel says what it is. Value proposition. Congrats. Now, here's the thing. Friend, I do watch your videos, by the way. Like, and I like what you've got going on, and congrats on getting to 91K. Your channel artwork is god-awful. It's bad. It's really, 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 really bad. Really bad. Yeah, bad. That being said, it's not beyond repair. I'm here to help. You can make this clean. You can make this better. You can make this look very professional, and you should. You clearly are upping your thumbnail game, and that's awesome. I see that you've taken some inspiration from Alex Becker, but I think your execution of your thumbnails is infinitely better than his. No offense, Alex, love you, but your thumbnails, bro, are like Alex Becker's thumbnails. He gives some of the smartest information, some of the best information in the world on business and growing an online business, and he's done it, and he's a bona fide millionaire. So I have nothing but love and respect for him, but his thumbnails undermine all of that, and he could help more people if he had better thumbnails. So the same for you, buddy. Better thumbnails go a long way. Better thumbnails go a long way, and I love how expressive you are. So all of that cut out against a completely white background that doesn't have the YouTube subscribe pillows and everything like that, and then text, however you want to do it, because colorful text is getting attention and you're still crushing it. Like, but you could do that so much more effectively if it's just you cut out and then that, and whether the background is colored or the other thing is black and white, you'll just get so much more attention, and then you can help educate more people. So for you, again, thumbnails are key. And again, I love how expressive you are. So just more of your face and your facial expression with then the text that gives the value proposition, and your stuff would be phenomenal as far as that. So I dig it. Let's see what she did yesterday in terms of video. See, look at your video. You've got solid production values. You've got decent lighting. And all that production values and that lighting gets undermined by thumbnails that look like you just took, like, you know, a screenshot out of the camera, went into Canva, which you might have done, and just put some text on it. So I'd rather you didn't do that. So you've got the production values. You've got quality content. Here's the thing. If I were to click on this video and I didn't know you, bro, I would not expect this quality of good lighting, good audio, and all of those things by the thumbnail. Like, guys, in the comments and in the super chat, like, are you feeling me on that? If you see this, do you expect this level of quality? It's a deception. It's like, wow, your stuff is really good, your information's good, your editing's good, your production's good. Why are these thumbnails not better? Like, so it really is important, guys. So again, grab the YouTube starter kit. Discount code is 450. So it's code 450, as in FORFIFTY. And that will get you 50% off of the YouTube starter kit. The YouTube starter kit has things that can help with your thumbnails so that your thumbnails start to match the quality of videos that you're doing. It's simple things: borders and diagonal cuts, stuff like this, diagonal cuts that then stand out in shape, rounded rectangle things. Like, there's a lot that can just make your thumbnails better. Your channel artwork too. If you were a woodworking channel, this would be perfect for you because it creates context. It tells a story. And this is the extra stuff here. This is what the middle stuff is what you'd see. The rest is if it was on television. The same thing with gaming or whatever channel you have. And again, there are dozens of downloads in the YouTube starter kit, and they will help you so that when you do stuff, your production values and your thumbnails align up, your channel artwork lines up. Because again, when I see that you have almost 100,000 subscribers and then I see this channel artwork, it like disconnects in my mind because you have great information. You've got a stock market mastery course that you're selling. Packaging matters, my friends. Packaging matters. Look at this. This is so clean, and this is like, I think this is teachable. Like, this is so clean, and it's got aesthetic. So why does like clean aesthetic not happen over here? And again, that's what gets uncomfortable. So I think that you've gotten a lot figured out. You don't get to 91K subscribers by accident, but branding, visual branding, good packaging, quality design, it's hard. I get it, but it matters. And so that's my advice for you in terms of things to improve and ways to improve is better thumbnails, and the way I described it go such a long way. Like Sheen Boo says, you're right. I would never have expect that level of quality. Yeah, absolutely. So that's the thing. A thumbnail is a promise, guys. A thumbnail, when you see a thumbnail, oh wow, this channel artwork's really good. When you see a thumbnail, it's a promise. If you see a good thumbnail, then you're expecting a good video. If you see a crappy thumbnail, then you think the video is crappy, and yet the video could be really good. So okay, so this is a 3D renders channel, 3D, 3 Gates Designs 3D, architectural visualization, 3D modeling. Okay. The thumbnails and the content of the channel seems a little bit all over the place. So even with like good channel artwork and you saying that it's 3D modeling and things of that nature, I'm not entirely sure what to expect. And these thumbnails don't help me really appreciate what to expect. And again, I may not be part of the 3D modeling community and things of that nature. So the thing is, I see what you're trying to do with the whole Eminem thing and his childhood home, but the thing is, if you showed more of this represented and show that you're doing CAD stuff, you're doing computer-assisted drawing, that probably goes a lot further than what you're trying to do over here, because if I see this, I'm not expecting this. Do you see what I'm saying? A thumbnail is an expectation. I keep having to harp on this because it seems to be the thing that everyone is still not truly appreciating and grasping, is that you can't have a thumbnail that doesn't deliver on the promise of the actual video that we're getting. in a way that we fully understand and that we fully appreciate and acknowledge. So I see that if you were going to do that, I should have saw a side by side of the finished product and this modeling. If you're saying that the end result is what have you. So again, this and this in a side by side comparison is a much more practical thumbnail that helps with my expectations than anything else because of that reveal. So I think that you have to be much more straightforward with these thumbnails. And I think that because I would click on this out of curiosity, especially if I see side by sides of this and this, more so than this other thing that's here. It doesn't do it. So again, straightforward thumbnails. Thumbnails are a promise. I mean, yeah, the central theme is better thumbnails and get the YouTube starter kit, but it's also about why, because a thumbnail is the only context besides a title that we have to go off of, and that's why I made a product that fixes this problem, because you keep seeing it. It's that our expectations are not always met by these thumbnails, and that's a problem. Sometimes the channel artwork is good, but it gives us no context, or it does a simple mistake. So I think that it's overwhelmingly the vulnerability of why things that might have good content on the back end of them don't get clicked is because they're presented wrong or they're packaged wrong. So again, I think that matters. All right, so third eye view 195, all aspects of each sport. So I didn't even see MLB, NBA, UFC, boxing videos, and I think that covering each sport and each aspect of the sport, I think that's too ambitious. I think that that gets confusing, and then I see the thumbnails, and these thumbnails are overwhelming me visually already because there's too much clutter, and I can't focus on any one thing. It gets extraordinarily distracting, so that's an issue. The best stuff that you have that's performing, you had a lot more traction focusing on basketball, and the videos that you did for that, granted, you're a new channel, but in the last month, basketball videos are what's performed for you. Doing other stuff, deviating from that, and it looks like you still have mostly basketball stuff, but I'd focus on basketball is what I would have done. And the channel artwork, third eye view 195 doesn't mean anything to anybody, so you're prioritizing that over the context of the sports thing. And I would have rather saw like diagonal cuts in the channel artwork of more of these sports figures. I would have probably went more with the way the sports poster style is done. Even for your thumbnails, I would have went more with like how UFC posters are designed. So that would matter. And I would do that. This kind of thing, if you're going to do it, is not going to be search friendly. So there's not a search friendly strategy there. Your videos are getting some views, and again, you don't have a subscriber base to siphon those views from, so you're doing something right. But what you have to figure out is how to make these thumbnails less confusing, and I think you have to use the strategy of branding that sports posters use, and you might need to up your Photoshop skills. Let's look at your production values and see if there's anything to be offered there. So it looks like you're doing sports commentary. So the production values are going to be fine because you're doing sports commentary. So that's part of why people, I guess, like this style of channel, and this might be a culture that I'm less familiar with because I don't watch sports commentary. But what I would say about it is you could borrow a lot of strategy from the gaming community and how they handle commentary and game reviews, and you could work that into your strategy. I also think from a logo and a visual perspective that this doesn't necessarily mean anything to anybody as far as that. So I'd find something else that matters. And the name Third Eye View 195, again, it doesn't mean anything to anybody that's not you. So think about how you're branding this. And if you're trying to reach a sports enthusiast audience, think about what matters to them. I think a central message of YouTube that gets lost is people make things without considering their audience and without really trying to cater to that audience. So I think that would matter. So Beamer Man. Beamer Man, you need to do featured playlist on your channel because right now it's just the feed, so it looks like a Facebook wall or a Twitter wall or something. You need to actually just use the featured playlist feature on your channel so that your thumbnails and things show up on your homepage. That's literally a one-click thing to do. The thumbnails aren't terrible, but they're not great. And you have a BMW, so there's a lot visually you could take advantage of. Like what's Audi doing with their YouTube channel? Because they must have a YouTube channel. Like, or let's see what Audi versus BMW. Let's see what people are like. Is no one good at thumbnails? Is that what we're learning? Are even the companies not good at this? Audi. Let's see. Audi official YouTube channel. Because there's got to be like, thank you. Audi USA. Thank you. Jesus. All right, so look at that channel artwork. That's a lot different than your channel artwork. And as far as thumbnails, look at that. Again, you have a BMW, but learn from what these Audi people are doing, because I think that can matter. And again, yes, of course, their views are predicated on the fact that they're the brand. And also, take a look at this. I keep telling you guys that a lot of the people who have silver play buttons, it's not even YouTubers. A lot of the gold play buttons, not even YouTubers. It's brands. Look at Audi. Audi has a silver play button. They probably have a silver play button for every one of their, almost, look. Audi has a silver play button for like almost like a couple of their channels. So like you have brands that have like take up a bunch of these. So going back to your channel, Beamer Man, is I would reverse engineer what the companies are doing with showcasing their product, and I think that that goes a long way from that perspective. And I think that changing your channel artwork would definitely matter. Let's take a look at your production values real quick. Let's see. Production values aren't bad. I'm assuming this is GoPro footage, maybe. Or that's some kind of camera that shoots at 60 frames per second, because that's what this feels like. 1080, 60 frames per second. Okay, nice. Actually, for this style of video, that makes that interesting and unique. So I could dig that. Clear your audience likes stuff like this, but no comments. Try and encourage comments and encourage questions early on in the video by asking them a question and asking them to respond, or ask them to give you your questions. So I think that that would be pretty important. Your overall production values don't look that bad. Let's check another video. You've got one on how to install. Like, okay, do more videos like this then. Do more how-to videos about like people who have a BMW or a Beamer. Because like your thing is you have an E39, focus on that. Go super niche. Look at everything Tesla. I know he probably rebranded his channel. E for electric. Yeah. All right. So yeah, this is Alex. Like, look at like what Alex is doing around electric cars. He's on his way to 10,000 subscribers. Alex's thumbnails could be a little bit better too, but at least he's using a branded strategy. But, you know, look at some of his other thumbnails here, like with the Tesla models. There's things you can do by looking at other channels in your niche. Automotive is a weird niche, and there are a lot of people who aren't doing regular YouTube things in the auto side of things. But I think that figuring out a much better and solid thumbnail strategy, getting a little bit more granular in the details and the descriptions could go a long way. So I think that those things matter, but I also think a lot of the how-to videos will attract new people to your channel. So that's a discovery strategy. So I would say that's important. I also think that distributing in communities and car communities are probably the smarter play. So distribution in those and in subreddits and in Facebook groups probably matter. So let's see here. Let me also check in on what else is going on here. Trooper McTrooper, yeah, I've got you, and Tropically Fit, definitely got you. So let's see. Trey Douglas, you were from much earlier. You got 11 subscribers. Um, the thing is, I can't figure out what your channel is about, and it looks like you have like 8 and 11-second videos. I don't know. It looks like you're trying to do what How to Basic does. I'm going to be really harsh on this. That's not a strategy. And making 15-second YouTube videos probably is not a strategy. Um, so, what I would say is if you're going to do this strategy, you're probably better served on Snapchat or Instagram stories, things of that nature. Um, this will not work as a YouTube strategy, not from a thumbnail standpoint, but also not from a practicality standpoint. Like YouTube has talked about watch time and the priority of watch time, and also people, if you see a 10 or 15-second video, they're probably expecting to be rickrolled. They're probably expecting that it's a deceptive thumbnail that's going to show them something shocking. So this would not work. Like, that's just not a thing. Social Blade versus TubeBuddy. Completely different tools with completely different objectives. Like, Social Blade's also free. TubeBuddy has a free version, but the paid version's infinitely better. So we got Gen Adventures TV. Life Honestly. Okay, that may be interesting as a title, but value proposition, I have no idea what I'm going to get. So I don't know if you're vlogging. I don't know if you're talking about lifestyle hacks. I don't know. So again, context. So we got rants. You got 402 subscribers. So you're doing something right. You got a community. People like you. People like your personality. So obviously thumbnails can do better, but to be frank, Jen is still doing better thumbnails than the far majority of people we've reviewed. Jen is doing better thumbnails than the far majority of people, probably, period. So there's that. You're tapping into trends. You're tapping into things. Like, so again, the channel's health-wise for, like, having 400 subscribers, it's not doing bad at all, to be honest. But it's also a channel that's personality-driven. So that's a challenge, and that's really hard to do. But, you know, it's a different approach. Let's see. Like, that's clever. The tomboy tries heels, and then you got the helmet and the heels. Like, that's funny. So again, there are production value things here that can clearly be better. This style of thing and doing it in 60 frames per second at least looks visually interesting. So maybe that's also a watch, like a retention hack for you, is because there's not a lot of stuff on YouTube in 60 frames per second, and visually that's a little bit appealing. And then this is funny. Like, watching you play basketball in heels is funny with a helmet on. Like, it's hilarious, right? So they're like, production values aren't everything. And again, for a channel with like 400 subscribers, this is doing fine. And it's funny. Overall, again, this strategy with the arrow, this is actually, again, you don't have to do the most well-designed thumbnail in the world, but context matters, and this creates context, and this draws your attention to something visually interesting, and it's like, you'll click this out of morbid curiosity. So there are things like that. But again, there are elements of these things that can be better, visually speaking. So your production stuff, it's fine for where you're at. You're doing a personality channel, so search friendly and SEO is not really going to be something that can really help you much. So you're better off figuring out distribution and building a following in other social media platforms as a strategy. So that'd be my advice, Jen. The other one is better channel artwork. This is very simple channel artwork, but it can be better. It can be more fun. You have a fun personality. So just think about that and think about what you can do to make that interesting. So that's your advice. Manufacture, 50 subscriber YouTube channel, bite-sized branding and marketing knowledge so you can save time and learn at the same time. Very nice value proposition here. There's probably a more concise way to say this, and if you can figure out more concise, then you can make this text bigger, and then we can see that, because that's a lot to read and to get through. Let's see. You have a lot of content, but you didn't put a lot of it on your homepage and featured playlist, so you should. You're doing minimalist branding for the thumbnails. Minimalist thumbnails are fine, and it looks like you're a big fan of design. Here's the thing. You probably are familiar with The Future from my buddy Chris Doe. If you're going to go with minimalist, well-designed thumbnails, get closer to this in terms of an outcome, because right now your stuff looks way too much is all the same, and this is an example of good design for you. But do not despair, because like they with some advice that I gave, like, fix this problem too, because they had the same problem when they were starting early. If I start by their oldest videos, they're doing exactly the same thing you were doing, but flipping it and doing what they're doing now is infinitely better. So you can benefit from that too, because you're doing something similar in nature. So if you change your thumbnail strategy and your branding, especially someone who's talking about design and branding, and you create more context and more visual interest, more people will click, and then you can do really well with that. Let's look at the production values of something you put out last week. Good
Hey
intro,
everybody,
like
this is
that.
And banking and lending.
The backdrop is uninteresting.
Residential
The coloring and lighting is fine.
or
The backdrop is
for which a
uninteresting,
property
and then it
can be
looks like
purchased
it's
through
potentially a little
finance
disorganized or whatever, so that undermines it. Let's look at what you put out yesterday.
type, and then the mall
Are. The
and
framing
that's
of
good
this is a
for
little bit better. It's a little bit more professional,
as
but
well.
the lighting is off.
Now
So
this is
improve
having a
some of
shrinkage
these
now
visual
because there are so many people who
elements,
don't really
and that
care
will definitely
much
go
for
a long way
prefab
to
houses.
help you.
They want more quality, and that's something that
WGBS
they really
podcast,
need.
thank you so much for moderating for me
And so
today, and
these are
thank
the
you
new
for letting people know about
generation
the YouTube Starter
of
Kit and
homeowners
about the discount
that
code they can get for that.
aren't
So just thank you
looking
so much for
for
the
a
help.
prefab house.
But yeah, you've got to improve the production at least a little bit, just a little bit. It doesn't have to be anything fancy or out of the way. And again, you can use a different location. Again, you're talking about the details and things in the real estate industry, and the researcher, you've researched this, you got the pains and the challenges. You've got to like demonstrate and convey that better. And then as you do this more, your on-camera presence and charisma will improve. You know, you talk about random rants over here in the logo grid. This setup looks a little bit better,
and that's complete
but the lighting is still off. But and then
think
there's
about it for a
disorganized
second.
things a little bit in the background.
Two things a
But
logo
again, when you're
design
just getting started,
needs.
all of that's fine,
One,
and I'm
a
not
good
trying to be
concept.
hypercritical.
Two,
Um,
a good eye. That's all you
so
need in the logo design.
I would say that the thumbnails have to improve. Some of the production values can get better, and just focus really on your on-camera presence and charisma. Yeah, we're 2 hours into this live stream, so it'll be like, aside from getting through the people who are queued up right now, which is about what, 5 or 6 more channels, something like that. 6 more channels. There are like 2 that I absolutely promised I would because of reasons. Mute YouTube. Wait, I thought I did mute YouTube. Where is it not muted? Is something playing? Maybe it was that previous video. Well, anyway, I hope the information... He can't hear the review. He can't hear review. If he can't hear it, bear with... All right, so, like, what was that channel again? Hang on, let me find that channel again. Because if the video was playing, it was playing, but nothing's playing now. Okay. Does anyone remember the name of the channel? Yeah, does anyone remember the name of that particular channel, the one that I was just reviewing that was agency-based? That we had up a minute ago? Manufacture. Okay. Thank you. Go to channel. All right. I thought I muted all of these channels that I queued up. But anyway, I was looking at his production values, and so I think that I was talking about that. Okay. Well, yeah, it's muted, so I don't know what was happening. All right, so yeah. So what I was saying is that some of the production values can be better. Over time, your on-camera presence and charisma will improve. But like one of the biggest vulnerabilities that I see for your channel is you need to do a much better job on the thumbnails. Just like I was talking about, I showed you how the future used to do their thumbnails and how they do it now. And that's going to be really important. It's going to matter quite a bit. So focus on that. You have good information and content. Your production values aren't bad, but they can be better. So work on always constantly improving, but really focus on your on-camera presence and charisma. It matters. All right. The Weavers of Eternity paracord. All right, you were like one of the first super chats, so we're finally getting through a lot of this. Who are the Weavers of Eternity? Okay, so this typography and lettering and all this stuff is really good. I don't know if having the logo here matters versus getting this bigger and getting that text bigger. So I'm not sure. That's something that I think is debatable. What I do like is that your stuff is very how-to, so that's getting you search, and you've grown a channel. Now, the thing is, a lot of people will criticize you about your view-to-subscriber ratio, and you probably think it should be higher, but how-to videos are very specific, and it's about whether people care about this thing today. Just because they watched one video and they subscribe for that doesn't mean they'll watch the other videos. That's just the nature of how-to channels that are not personality-driven in nature. Now, what I'll also say is, your branding at least is subtle, but I still think your logo is too big, and I don't think it matters as much. So I don't think that you need to keep shoehorning the logo in. I think that your photography and the way you're presenting things is fine. I think shoehorning the logo into everything is just not a good best practice, and I think that hurts people more than helps them. Because again, I will tell you once again, everyone, no one cares about your logo. It's the thing I had to explain as a graphic designer so much, and brands didn't want to hear it. Nobody cares about your logo. If we can get through that, I think we'll be okay. Now, your most popular videos were things that tapped into trends and tapped into franchises. So maybe if your answer is that you want more views on your videos, you might have to do more videos that tap into those trends in addition to some of the how-to videos, because that's what's performed for you historically. You've got videos, plenty of videos, from 100,000 to 1 million. So what Logan and Jake Paul did really well is when they saw what did perform on their YouTube channel, they stopped doing everything that didn't perform. And that might hurt because maybe there's content you want to do. So it's okay if you just want to do content that you want to do. But if your goal is that you want to grow this channel as big as you possibly can, then you have to focus on the videos that have grown the channel historically and have gotten massive attention and views. And you have to do more things that are similar to that and do playlists of videos that are similar to that. That's the answer for a lot of people. So, you know, the thing that I would say about that is that if you focus on that, that's what will ultimately grow a channel. But you're already over 200,000 subscribers, so I don't know if you're trying to get to 1 million, which for your niche, I don't think you need to, and you're doing successful. So I don't know that you need to worry about it. If I look at Channelytics, like you're getting subscribers. You got 3 subscribers in the last like 30 days. Views wise, you did like over 500,000 views. So I don't know like if it's that you're trying to do this full time on YouTube as a living versus grow your business, but I don't think that you really need to worry about it. But if you did want to grow the channel, just doing more videos that are on trends that go into your weaving would do that and would accomplish that. But I probably am more of a mind to think that this might be about growing a business and a community for you at this point, which means you may not care as much about views and subscribers. In my mind, you've already made it. Production values look good. Top-down style. Instructional, short and to the point. This is the kind of content that historically usually does really well. So I mean, I don't think that you really need to do anything different other than there are things about your thumbnails that I don't love the logos. I think you could ask for more engagement in the comments, and I think like for the number of comments you have, there's no reason you shouldn't be replying to everybody. That's something that's important. I see that you hearted everybody, but you could have given everyone a thumbs up, and you could have given everybody like 15 seconds of a comment reply since you only have 8 of them. So I would just do that more. This channel is almost to 250,000 like subscribers. It's got 200,000 subscribers, and again, you might be dissatisfied with the views on some of the videos, but you've had videos that knocked it out of the park before. So it's not as if you don't have data that you know what performs to 10K, 100K, or even 1 million views on your channel. You know what works. You could prioritize doing more of that. It just might be less emotionally satisfying. So you have to decide if you want to grow the channel or you just want to make the videos you want to make at this point. And there's no right or wrong answer to that. It's just about what you want. So there's that. Does anyone have a running tally on how many channels we reviewed in the last 2 hours and change? Like, I'm exhausted. It's been 2.5 hours. I'm still not through, and I still have a few more that I promised to do after these next 5. But I'm exhausted, you guys. Like, I'm gonna need a nap after this, and I need to eat something after this, and I need to drink something after this. Let's see. Andrew Z, your favorite comedy show. Channel artwork isn't bad. This is actually pretty good channel artwork. I would have rather have you like in color over here, or something. I would have rather have you in color popping out somewhere. But the overall color theming and channel artwork is good. Let's see. You did this a month ago. It's comedy. Let's peek at some of the production values. Different cameras, different stuff. This looks like it's a reel. Okay. Let's look at something from a week ago. So there's clips. If you're going to do clips, work them in and like look at things like Tosh 2.0 and like do like Ray William Johnson. Like there's a lot you can learn from like YouTubers of the past with regard to that. Thumbnails. I'd rather see thumbnails where you're cut out and everything is a purple background and then you put whatever graphics or emojis or whatever. because then that's on brand for you, and then you use the yellow text. The diagonal cut isn't doing it for me. Seeing the background with your screen isn't doing anything for me. Those are unnecessary elements. So from a thumbnail standpoint, you should be cut out completely of the background. Again, another person who could definitely benefit. I like the emoji stuff, though. The emoji stuff is good. But you're someone else who could benefit from the YouTube starter kit and just doing better thumbnails overall. So, again, grab that with the link in the description and with the discount code for the Black Friday sale that's going to the end of the year. But I think that production values are okay. Production values aren't anything to necessarily write home about, but they don't need to be for your type of channel. Your type of channel might actually even benefit from a consistent setup that's like a clean aesthetic. I would go with more brightness on overall. I don't like the computer setup in the corner doesn't do anything. I would like to see you use like a portable green screen, to be honest, and then put some kind of background behind you, because that seems like that would just do better for your channel and for your content and your style. So I would just go more in the Tosh 2.0 Ray William Johnson style for you. Maybe even your green screen then puts a purple background behind you like this. So Andrew, there are things where, again, look at this. Even where you're just against all white in the corner, I don't see the computer. That's more interesting. There's more context there. That's better. Like, look at your profile picture. It's you and it's a purple background. Like, I think that would go a long way. You're a comedy channel, so there's not a lot to benefit from an SEO standpoint. From a growth strategy standpoint, obviously, if you're doing comedy and you're doing a comedy show, talking about celebrities, talking about big YouTubers, talking about people in Instagram and Snapchat that are big, those kind of things, talking about things in the news, those will siphon you more attention, so you will grow in proportion to that. And branding a show, I think for you, branding a show and having a weekly specific show, or even branding the whole channel as a show and naming it something clever will probably do well for you. Beanie Draws. I know you've been waiting. Congrats on being over 10K, buddy. You specifically wanted some commentary and advice on what you're doing with thumbnails. I dig the new thumbnails, Beanie. I absolutely dig the new thumbnails. The new thumbnails are doing really, in my opinion, they're doing really well. And I like this, and that stands out to me. And it feels a lot closer to like, someone I know you've been inspired by, Draw with Jazza. I love what you did for the 10,000 subscriber shoutouts. Like, this, I think, goes a long way. And I think it's looking like it's doing really well for the channel compared to previous views. So I think that this is helping you. I also think, again, whenever you do anything that's on trend, I think it can help you. Winter is Pokemon Go season again, so maybe there's something with that. I also think that you doing stuff that's about topics that have to do with art and not just your drawing tutorials will also go a long way toward helping. And your thumbnail execution for this was spot on. Everybody could stand to learn from what Beanie is doing with his thumbnails. His branding for his own stuff, Beanie Draws, is very minimal. Look at how minimal that is, and is not overwhelming. In terms of what we see from his stuff versus people making these ginormous logos. Look at what he's doing. So I think, and then look at the fact that he focused on his colors, black and yellow. Now, what I would say is I'd like to see you get the black and yellow branding and also your caricature and you into your channel artwork somehow. I mean, this is good channel artwork, but I think it can be better branded, and I think your new colors and your text style, I think that would go a long way up here. So, and of course, I love your caricature as your profile pic. So, Beanie, congrats on 12K subscribers, and this is the right direction for you. So kudos on that. Let's take a quick peek at production values and see if there's anything to comment on there. Production values are fine. You could scooch back just a little bit. It's a little bit close to the camera, and it'll help with any focusing issues if you scooch back just a little bit. Not by much. You're fine. It'll also help you whenever you want to pop stuff up on the screen like this if you scooch back just a little bit. So that's definitely what I would recommend. Beamed Up. We're homies on Instagram, so super appreciate you. What I'm noticing about your thumbnails is that they're a little on the cluttered side, my friend, and also it looks like you skipped over doing channel artwork, which YouTube is letting you do now. But like, you should definitely do some channel artwork, homie. And again, my stuff will help. The thumbnails, like you got 7K subscribers, you're almost up to 10K. Dude, thumbnails. They're super cluttered. Like, simplify. Even if you're going to do multiple subjects and things in a video, like, find a way to, like, frame that to where some of that's on the left and you're on the right or something like that. There's a practical way to do those things in terms of layouts. So I think thumbnails will do better. Let's see what your best performing video is, and let's see if there's some advice on what you can do to get more views. Best performing video is iPhone X is a joke. If you're going to do like stuff, and it's like a lot of your stuff is tech based in nature, a lot of your stuff is also bringing comedic elements to it, and you're talking about Apple stuff, and this looks like fun. Here's the thing. Here's my content strategy thing for you, Beamed Up, is I want you to do a roast playlist of every major brand, and I want you to do a roast playlist of all the videos, all the smartphones from 2017. So you should be roasting the iPhone 8, the iPhone 8 Plus. You should be roasting the Google Pixel 2 XL. You should be roasting the Samsung Galaxy S8, which this is the S7, which has the same camera as the S8, so roast away. Like, you should be roasting all of the tech products of 2017 to get attention for the other content that you do, and that will work. Like, just do a very fun roast style video of all of the current big technology plays for 2017, all the smartphones, the new laptops, just crush them. And that will get you attention for your other content. And it'll probably be fun for you, to be honest. So you can do the stuff that you normally do, but I would also do that and do those videos. And again, I would just get better at these thumbnails because they really matter. Because again, we're seeing this thumbnail, but we may not be expecting these really decent, like, these are decent production values. There's nothing so inherently wrong with this. Now, granted, you have autofocus on, and when you do stuff where you're going to load up the mobile thing, just in editing, move that over to the left and position yourself on the right. Simple things, right? This is why I go and dig into these videos, just so I can help you with the production side a little bit too. Or just pop up a background behind this where you're not even there, and then there's stuff like a black background or whatever, and you just see the phone. So whatever. Do that. Or again, move yourself to the side. You've seen me do that in videos where I like cover apps where I have the smartphone interface on the side and then I'm there. So those are things I would say. The autofocus issue. Take the camera off autofocus, put it on manual focus after you've locked it in. You can use taking a selfie to do that and then set it to autofocus lock. So that's important. I see that other people are saying, hey, review my channel, and I think what happened is, again, people ignored the instructions in the description, and that's why things don't happen sometimes, is people don't follow instructions. There's, so there's that. So, Beamed Up, you're obviously doing good content. People like you. I like you. I like what I'm seeing from you on Instagram and in YouTube. I like some of the elements of what you bring to the tech community, and you make it less stuffy. I like that you're that. So what I would say is you could definitely improve your thumbnails from a content strategy, roast all the new products, rip them apart, like burn them to cinders. I love it. And that will get attention for your other content, and that will probably dramatically increase your traffic. I mean, your most popular video is iPhone 10 is a joke. I agree. Overspending for a beta product. And so, that's what I would say about it. Let's see. Oh god, 2.5 hours of channel reviews. 2.5 hours of channel reviews. I hope people definitely appreciate this. If you appreciate this, and that I've gone for 2.5 hours, and I've probably got another half hour to go here, and this will be one of my longer streams, and that this is a marathon, and that it's physically devastating to me to actually do the stream this long. That like I'm like hungry, and I'm out of liquid refreshment, and it's like really bad. If you appreciate that, even without requesting a review, if you would like to donate something in Super Chat for my pain and suffering, I will appreciate it. I will thank you, because this is hard. Like, I can only do this dedicated Super Chat stream once a month because it is literally physically devastating to do this. It's bad. Like, it's not healthy. I don't know how the gaming YouTubers stream for 4 and 5 hours. They're insane. So I appreciate all the support you guys give. I appreciate the super chats for the people who have donated both for channel reviews and just to show their support. So you guys are amazing. I've got a couple of more here. I have some from earlier in the queue that were really big ones that I didn't like pop up, that I need to pop up on the screen from earlier. So let me do that real quick. Thank you guys for also the participation in the live chat, and also thank you, WGBS podcast, for moderating. Definitely appreciate you. We have a couple of big donors that I didn't queue up that I need to, so I'm working on setting that up here. Let's see. Oh, I'm exhausted. And again, there's a reason I'm not taking any more super chats for reviews, guys. And it's because, again, this is exhausting. I've gone for 2.5 hours. We're going to be going into like 3-hour territory. It's really not practical to do that. It's exhausting, and it could also mean the reviews won't be as good as I would like, just from the physical exertion part. So again, I super appreciate you guys and everything that you guys bring to the table here as a community. And like I said, I'm just queuing up some of those last super chats here to close out the final half hour as we close in on hour 3 of my super chat marathon, which again, wildly impractical on my part. So we've got a couple of more channels to get through here. So again, I hope that those of you who didn't get a channel review are still paying attention and are just learning from what we're reviewing here and what we're going over, because again, a lot of you are convinced that you need specific advice, and in more cases than not, it's just not true. Most of you don't need specific advice. Most of you are still struggling with just best practices and can learn from watching other reviews in people of a similar niche. And so that really helps out. And so I would encourage you to look at and research what people are doing in your niche, but also look at best practices. Because again, people are struggling with simple things. So go Herping. I know you've been a fan of the channel for a while. You're up to 35,000 subscribers, so congrats. Your profile pic thing, that's very cool and that's different, and the color stands out. Now with Reptile Care, and again, this is a different type of channel artwork, and it's not bad, but it could be much better. And I think that getting the new video daily Eastern Standard Time and moving that over to the left under Reptile Care, and then putting like subscribe and a notification bell on the right hand side could go a long way. So I think that that would look a lot better. Production values are fine, and you're doing long form content, which I think is really cool, and I think it's different. And I like things like room tours. A lot of people do. So that video is doing really well for you over the last 2 weeks. Congrats. In fact, 20,000 views on that video for the last 2 weeks. Cinematography is good. Look at this, guys. Like, again, and this, so again, it's not that hard to do quality YouTube content if you study best practices, because again, look at this. The depth of field, blurry background, direct to camera, cutting to B-roll. Like, this is all, like, really good. So, there's that. And where it comes up just a little bit short is the thumbnail strategy at least is showing intention. It's showing some basis of design, and the typography is good. The font choices, with the exceptions of a Very Tense Turtle Race, I didn't like that font, but that's me. The font choices are good. What I would like to see is more focus on photography, thinner borders on these thumbnails, and more focuses on the photography and then a little bit of type. Like this one was really not that bad. As far as the one that's feed more than one mouse. But again, a better photography focus, because again, think about how good the cinematography was in those videos that we just saw. Look at the actual, don't open with plugging the merch. Save that for go 2 minutes into the video and then plug the merch. Don't do it at the beginning. But look at the cinematography. Look at the graphics. You would not expect that from the thumbnail that we got. You have to make sure that the thumbnail that you have is a representation of the production values on the other end, or better. So with what you're capable of from a production value standpoint, apply that same rule of thumb to photography. Prioritize photography in your thumbnails and maybe use thinner borders like you've seen me do in the past. And I think that goes a long way, because again, you're fully capable of good cinematography, and you've proven that. So then good photography can be balanced against that. So that matters. Again, solid production values, growing a great community. Good job. Dragon Bar, I'm only going to review your channel because you dropped $20 and I would feel guilty if I didn't. But I'm going to make you a promise right now. I don't care how much money anybody else drops. I'm not going past 3 hours and 10 minutes on this thing, and I'm not reviewing any more channels after Dragon Bars. You can drop $100 and I'll just say thank you for the support, because I'm not going to a 4-hour live stream, guys. I'm not doing it. It's not going to happen. It's been 2 hours and 43 minutes. I'm dying here. It's bad. You can't expect me to do 50 channel reviews in a day. I've lost count of how many we've done. You can't do that. No, if someone drops $200, I dare watch me not review your channel. So I'm not even kidding. I'll feel horrible and I'll still get to sleep at night because I'm exhausted. That being said, Go Herping, you're doing a good job on the quality of your content. You might be able to improve some of the tagging. Let's just take a quick peek. Actually, tagging looks pretty good, but let's see how it's ranking, though. Try to improve the ranking with TubeBuddy. You're doing a good job of trying to rank, and you're doing it the right way, but just see if you can tune that up a little bit. But you're doing really good. Dragon Bar Supply, 89 subscribers. I have no idea what the channel's about in context from the channel artwork, so you need to improve that. But it seems like you have a family business. It looks like it's knives and other cold steel objects, and it looks like it's other things of that nature. The problem is most channels fail to create context about what the channel is about. Channel artwork is supposed to help me understand what the channel is about and what I'm subscribing for, and most channels fail that test. The thumbnails are also not meeting that test of, for what you say this is, I don't understand what the video I'm getting is. So I don't know, and that's a problem. If I can't figure it out, then I can't click on it, because you have to help me figure it out in 3 seconds. And if you don't meet that mandate, it becomes a problem. So if you're like Meteor, Fidget Spinner, Knife, I'd rather just see a close-up of the knife. Look at Instagram, and look at Instagram channels that are about woodworking and knives and tools. Their focus is on showing you the tool in the image. So again, photography more than graphic design would apply here, and that would matter. And also, a 5 or 10 second video feels like a trick. So you can't do a 5 or 10 second video in YouTube without people feeling like it's a scam to show them something shocking. It's got to be a minute or longer, or people think that it's just something that's a trick to make them feel something shocking. So That's what I would say. Let's do one quick peek at your production values, and then your production values are fine. Your production values are fine. So you've got this quality content that I wouldn't have expected if I clicked on that thumbnail, because the thumbnail belies the quality of the content. Look at how gorgeous the video is. Now let's go back and look at the thumbnail behind it. Night and day. It's night and day, so you really got to work on that. So again, your cinematography is good. You're making quality content. You can't make super short videos that are 5 and 10 and 50 seconds or less. That's an Instagram thing. On YouTube, we feel like we're going to get tricked because there was a culture of that for a long time in YouTube. So, it's a problem. Kawaii's Kitchen, I thought I did you like yours a long time ago. I think I did yours in one of the super chats way back when. Not today, but like weeks ago. Ronzo in Japan. Not quite 1,000 subscribers yet. Let's check some cinematography of what you were doing a month ago. Good quality cinematography. Good quality editing. Okay. Interesting topics. Thumbnails are not giving me nearly enough context. You're doing kind of like vlogging. Look at what the travel vloggers are doing. And like, again, even look at what like Casey Neistat would do for thumbnails. You might need to figure out better in-context titles. The thumbnails are killing you, bro. That's usually the answer, but the thumbnails are killing you. Because, again, I'm seeing this thumbnail. Like, what's the actual cinematography? See, most people's content, most people's cinematography is better than their thumbnails would have us believe. We're tricked out of good content because of bad thumbnails. Like, that's a quote from me. We are tricked out of good content because of bad thumbnails. So, you know, that's what I would say about that. When you're doing stuff in nighttime, and also because you have a darker complexion, you need to figure out a strategy. I don't know what you're filming with in terms of a camera. If you're filming with a phone, get a selfie ring light. If you're filming with like a point and shoot, maybe also figure out getting a selfie ring light. I almost saw what kind of camera you're using. I think it is your phone. I think from... Yeah, it is your phone, so get a selfie ring light. Also, from a color grading standpoint, color grade the exposure differently, even if you get a little bit of grain, just because if you're going to film at night and you have a darker complexion, you just have to do that. From a camera standpoint, if you want a better camera to handle low light, get a Sony RX100 Mark V. That's what I use. Good descriptions. It does describe what it's about. Wow, pretty good on the tags. I don't know if they rank, and I don't know what the search volume for something like that would be. But you're doing okay on that. I think that you have to do more distribution outside of YouTube. You might be relying on YouTube to get your views. You need to go bigger and deeper than that. You're not getting bad views for being under 1,000 subscribers and for being a niche as far as the Japan stuff. But again, the problem is you don't have a bad piece of channel artwork, but I can't read this, which means that instead of doing super outlines, maybe this should have been filled in color, and I like that. And maybe something else that shows me that this is Japan, but this isn't a bad thumbnail photography thing, but then the text should have been filled in some kind of colorful thing that would have helped balance it. The new video every day thing, that's definitely fine. Maybe put a thing on the right-hand side that says subscribe and a notification bell. And maybe on the left-hand side, there's an actual bigger photo of you. And then maybe a close-up headshot for your profile pic. But again, as per usual, thumbnails killing you softly. So better thumbnails, which again, the YouTube Starter Kit can help, guys. Go to awesomecreatoracademy.com. Links are in the description down below. Get 50% off for the Black Friday sale to the end of the year on the YouTube Starter Kit, and you will get better thumbnails. I copied the styles and studied the styles of the best thumbnails in YouTube, both on the trending page, the top channels out there with 100,000 to 1 million subscribers. If you suck at YouTube thumbnails, if you suck at graphics for YouTube end cards, if you suck at YouTube channel artwork, this has dozens of assets, and by the end of the year, it'll have over 100 assets. And again, one low price, and right now, 50% off, so definitely grab that. And then you too can have better YouTube thumbnails. So again, that is a plug, and the link is in the description below along with the discount code. So go ahead and check that out. That is my product, and I'm very proud of it. And I think it will help a lot of you not have horrible thumbnails and horrible channel artwork that no one will click on or no one will understand. Now, what I do like is when you do good photography, it works for a thumbnail. You don't have to be a graphic designer. You could just do good photography. Look at the 10 Days of Ramen Tokyo Ramen Show. This is a good thumbnail, and it got 600 views. You have 695 subscribers. This is a successful video, and look at the thumbnail. I will click on that thumbnail. That gives me context. Thumbnails are a promise, guys. You click on a thumbnail, you want a delivery on the value proposition and promise. So again, now typography, you need to get better at typography, my friend. Like if you're going to do an intro with that, and I know you can do better on the typography. So look at that. You got beautiful drone footage. I would have never guessed that this is the type of video you're capable of making based on your thumbnails, and don't do this bad typography. Like, so again, you're fully capable of doing quality content, but your thumbnails are betraying you. So, just do a little better, my friend. Okay, Tropically Fit. Finally, you've been super patient. I hope you're still here. So, 365 subscribers. This looks like the YouTube channel artwork from like a long time ago when the dimensions were different. You need better channel artwork, my friend. Now, you have a gorgeous profile pic, so that's amazing. But your channel artwork belies that. Also, you're saying fashion, fitness, health, vegan recipes, minimalism, plus more. That's a lot to promise. It's a lot to promise, and that's confusing to a subscriber. So I would maybe say vegan lifestyle and minimalism. Maybe that's a better thing to say, or like tropically fit. Like I would probably say vegan lifestyle, health, and minimalism, and that would probably make more sense. Vegan lifestyle, health, and minimalism is an easy value proposition for me to wrap my head around. So I would do that. The 50 random facts around me tag is good. This is an example of a good photography kind of based thumbnail. The same thing with you here in your parrot. Eat healthy burger. I would rather see more of the burger, and this is not like one of the better photos of you because it's pixelated more and it's blurry and it's the saturation's not good. You photograph well. There's more you can do there. Oh, the cocktails singing the parrots. The photos of the parrots, like this is clutch. This is doing well. That's getting views for you. I would argue that you should go to photography-based thumbnails, and you look like you're in somewhere tropical and fun. I would take advantage of that. This is a background or whatever. Better lighting, better lighting, better lighting, better lighting. The production values aren't bad, but better lighting goes a long way. Let's look at another one. Taking my cute parrot for a walk. Okay. So let's click on that. Wow, YouTube, thanks for the lag. All right. Yep, overwhelmingly with text in the intro. Better lighting, better lighting, better lighting, and more interesting backdrop. Let's see what everything is like when you're outdoors. There's very little of you outdoors here, but it says taking my cute parrot for a walk, but there's very little of the walk. There's very little of the outdoor experience. Production values look better when you're outdoors. My new advice is for you to film outdoors in natural lighting 100% of the time if possible. Someone saying the lag is net neutrality dying. Yup. That's a whole rant I should get into later. Not on this thing. We're already almost 3 hours in. So there's that. Obviously, again, better thumbnails will help here, but again, they don't have to be graphic design thumbnails in this case. You have a parrot, you have a unique thing. You'd be better served with photography-based thumbnails. And again, I would rather see you do more outdoor videos because it's more interesting, and the outdoor lighting will benefit you more. And I would simplify the value proposition to vegan, lifestyle, health, and minimalism, and that would make it like easy. You're trying to fix the poor lighting. You bought 2 soft boxes and a ring light. That goes a long way. 2 soft boxes and a ring light does wonders. So that definitely helps. But again, when you can't do that, film outside. It's amazing, and you're somewhere gorgeous. So like, film outside. Like, let's see what else. The thumbnails are probably, and the channel artwork overwhelmingly are one of the most important things, and then the increase in production values I think will definitely like help you. Like, so I don't do live channel reviews once a week. I sometimes shoehorn channel reviews into my live Q&A. So the live Q&A, I'm only going to do channel review dedicated things like this once a month. And I'm not going to let you guys kill me with 3 hours worth of channel reviews ever again. Like, never again. I'm going to set some kind of cap and threshold, and that will be the end of that. Like, you know. But anyway, yeah, so I would change those things, and I think that will go a long way toward helping you. The fitness review stuff, yeah, go filming in a gym camera with a GoPro, those things can help. And again, you can still do fitness videos. Again, it's just that by saying vegan lifestyle and health, you don't have to say fitness, because fitness and health are synonymous. So, you know, that's what I would say. All right, Daniel Engels, 1K. Trailer suggests very good production values, drone footage, very nice. So I don't have to give you any camera advice, Daniel. That's great. These minimalist thumbnails look pretty good to me. You've got 1,000 subscribers and you're averaging 1,000 views. So that looks good. I assume this is German. So your niche is you're doing whatever for your niche. I only have so much context on that because I don't speak German, and I'm assuming this is German from the a lot of things. What I will say is I want more context with your channel artwork. I love this logo, but then I have no other context. I don't know the upload schedule based on this. I don't know what the channel is about. So I would include other things that help give context and the schedule, and I think that would help people. So your production values are fine. I can't give you search engine advice because of the language barrier. So I'm just going to critique your editing's good. Figure out some of the low light stuff, but you're doing good camera stuff, so you're fine. Every now and again, low light just sucks. I can't read your descriptions, but I would say use 2 paragraphs for descriptions of text and then all your links. That could be helpful. You're using tags. I don't speak German, but like, you're not ranking for a lot of your tags in your language, so I would use TubeBuddy and I would pay attention to that, and it can work based on your language. So again, your channel is doing good, and it's doing really well considering your subscriber count. It's doing tremendous, actually, considering your subscriber count. The best advice I can give based on the language barrier, however, is to optimize your tags to rank as best as you possibly can. And I would also say your channel artwork has to give more context to your channel upload schedule and what your channel is about. Your production values, your quality of content, your community, everything here is fine. The other thing I would say is reply to all your comments, because I don't see enough of you replying to all your comments, especially when you don't get a lot of them. Reply to everything. So that's what I would say. Good job, Daniel. Irish boy. Let's see what you got going on. Gaming channel. Okay. We only have 1 million of these. What are you doing differently? Channel art. Thumbnails aren't terrible. It could be better. There's a lot going on, but they're not terrible. You started a year ago. Where did consistency fall off? How consistent are you now? Once a week. Once a week doesn't cut it on YouTube anymore. You got to go 2 to 3 times, maybe 5 a week. You're getting views based on your subscriber ratio. It's fine. But it looks like you're all over the place because you went through from doing like games to doing some tutorials too. It looks like I worry that you might just be trying to get big on YouTube and you might just be trying to do whatever works and whatever you think will get views. So I would be concerned about that from a content strategy standpoint because I can't figure out what your channel's about. You don't state what your channel's about. I have the sneaking suspicion that you're on YouTube to be a YouTuber. I'm going to tell all of you that if you're on YouTuber to be a YouTuber, you're probably not going to make it. There's few exceptions of people who do that, and I don't say that to razz anybody. I'm tired of hearing the phrase YouTube is my dream, and it's not because I want to crap on anyone's dream. It's that it's an impractical thing to say that YouTube is your dream. YouTube is a platform. YouTube can go away. YouTube can demonetize you. YouTube can decide they don't want your type of content. So how are you going to say YouTube is your dream? That is the least practical thing there is in the world. And I know that if you're 14, 15, 16, that sounds devastating. And it's like, how dare you? And you have a silver play button already. You have 250,000 subscribers. How dare you? And again, I'm going to get razzed for that. I'm going to get criticized for that. But I'm going to be at least one person in the entire YouTube community, out of the entire world, that's going to be honest with you guys and say it is a bad idea. And you're seeing it because how many channels are getting crushed by demonetization right now? How many channels are getting crushed by their videos being flagged right now that focused and prioritized, like YouTube? If you like making videos, then think about the things that you're the most passionate about and find something that is a bigger thing that you would do even if nobody was watching. If you like making YouTube videos, I'm not discouraging you from saying make YouTube videos, but don't worry about getting big on YouTube if you like making YouTube videos. Just get better at editing and making videos until you find your voice and you find something to care about. That's fine to do. If you're trying to use YouTube to find your voice, I'm fine with that. But if you are doing that, then you should have no business worrying about views or subscribers. You should then focus on having fun editing, having fun making videos, whether anybody sees them. And I say that as somebody who was editing videos like years before YouTube existed. I'm 33. When I was coming up and when I was about 15, 16, I was editing videos and we had things like LimeWire and BearShare, and we didn't have a platform to really host videos. And it was weird and it was a clunky thing before YouTube, right? And then people started using MySpace came later, like whatever. Before YouTube was a thing, hosting your videos on the internet for people was really hard and it was weird, and a lot of us edited stuff and made stuff that no one would ever see. Casey Neistat was making internet viral videos before YouTube existed too, and it was harder to have a place to host and consolidate that. So what I would say is if you're into making videos and filming and editing, then do that and don't worry about YouTube and YouTube's culture or being a big YouTuber. One day when you find your voice, then you can focus on that thing that you care about the most, and you can do that and you'll crush it because you have experience. So that's kind of where my advice is going with regard to that. If you like making videos, you like streaming, you like do those things, but do not, for the love of God, do not make growing on YouTube a goal. So that's what I'll definitely say about that. And again, for what it is, I'm looking at your stuff. It's gameplay, it's streaming. There's nothing really to say there about the editing side of things because it's really straightforward. It's gameplay. So the best advice I can give you is the advice that I just gave you. Your thumbnails aren't bad. You're doing things. I see a lot of Ziovo-like things in you. I think you were probably inspired by Ziovo. But if you look at what Stephen Vaughn is doing, like Stephen Vaughn figured out that he has something he cares about now and he's doing that, but he did tutorials and things of that nature to find his voice. So that's the kind of thing that I would encourage. Trooper McTrooper. Can't see your subscriber count, so it's hard to get context on how your videos are performing without knowing how many subscribers you have. If you have anything close to 100 subscribers, you should reveal the subscriber count. I think that too many people think that, oh, if I don't have subscribers, no one will take me seriously and no one will subscribe to me. It's like, I didn't have any subscribers when I got started. Everyone starts at 0. That's a false thing. We care about thumbnails, and then we care about what happens when we click on a thumbnail. We really don't care about people's subscriber count. Maybe after people have 1 million, maybe then more subscribers breed more subscribers. But if you look at some YouTubers that have been at 250,000 and 500,000 for the last 2-3 years, they've been stuck there. Ask them if subscribers make more subscribers, because they haven't crossed over to 1 million, and it's been years of sitting at the same thing. So, like, there are people with 1 million subscribers that are in negative growth right now, and they bleed 50 subscribers every week. Like, so, like, there's this myth in small YouTube world of subscribers breeding subscribers. Like, it's not Pokemon where if you put them, like, alone somewhere that you come back and you find an egg and you got another Pokemon, okay? Like, Gen 2 for those of you who know about that. So, like, it doesn't work. Gameplays and stuff every day, okay? Thumbnails after a certain point on the Battlefront stuff being too similar means that we might feel like it's a repeat video. It's interesting that you shoehorned in your animated character. I like that. That's unique. That's unique. But again, your thumbnail doesn't necessarily tell me that that's what I get on the other end of this, and this could be interesting. It looks like you might have some interesting commentary going on. So again, that's different, and I like that you have an animated puppet there, and that's different. But what I would rather see is the background of these thumbnails be different gameplay captures, like how you had in the lightsaber fights and like again, recurring theme. Thumbnails make a difference on getting clicks. And again, you have all this content. I have no idea how it's performing compared to your subscriber ratio, but at the same time, if I look at like, you have this interesting content, but it's not being packaged well. Good attempt on the tagging, though. That's shocking. But then there's no description to help you here with the titles. There's no description to give any context. Look, when it comes to titles, descriptions, and tags, don't copy PewDiePie, okay? But when it comes to thumbnails, he's got it locked because he would have been working at an ad agency. You guys don't know. PewDiePie, Felix Kjellberg, he would have been working at one of the best ad agencies in the UK if he hadn't become a YouTuber, because he was getting an internship for that. And he's really good at Photoshop. Like, he has a really nice tutorial, and it shows you how smart he is about it. And he can use the advanced tools in Photoshop as good as anybody, as good as me. Like, so he was going to be a professional dude doing ads and billboards. So, like, I mean, there's stuff to that, right? Your most popular uploads, like, are some Dragon Ball Z-verse stuff. If that performed for you, why not do more of that? Like, my friend Geekdom 101 ended up blowing up in the Dragon Ball community by focusing on one thing. So if something's working for you and your goal is to grow on YouTube, do the thing that's working, and then you have all these comments, reply to every comment. Reply to every comment. So, again, the advice for you is focused more on strategy, and the strategy is your most popular stuff by far, overwhelmingly compared to everything on your channel, revolved around Dragon Ball. I would do more of that. Hacking into the Star Wars thing because it's new and popular seems like a good idea, but you haven't been able to deliver on it. It hasn't worked. So I would do the thing that works versus the thing that's trendy. I would do the thing that works versus the thing that's trendy. And again, you got all of that only 3 months ago. If you just focused and kept doing stuff like that, you probably would have grown substantially. So that's my advice. All right, so let me just do some quick housekeeping. Oh, God, it's 3 hours. That's like, oh, God, I'm dying here. Okay, so let me do some quick housekeeping, and let me thank some people. Sabby BGTV, thank you for all your support. Thank you for the super chats, just to be supportive. Rewired Soul, Chris Boutte, thank you. Glidorius, thank you. Frolic, thank you. Your $2 still helps. Super appreciate that. Thank you to everybody who did submit for the reviews. Clover Tack, thank you for all the support, buddy. Really appreciate you. Oh, it looks like there was one I missed, like, super early that I'm going to just, like, pop up that was, like, earlier. And it's only because it was super early, before I had said the cutoff thing. Joshua Pomeroy, thank you. let's see. Joe Stat, thank you. Appreciate you, buddy. Gates 3 Designs, Financial Education, thank you. Irish Boy, thank you for the extra throwing it in. Blue Lions TV, thank you for the $3 euro. That doesn't get you into a chat like it's been 3 hours, but appreciate you. Beamer Man, thank you. Irish Boy, Andy, thank you. Daniel, again, great job, Daniel. Like, again, your stuff was really good cinematography, but it's hard because of the language barrier. Thank you for everybody who donated to donate. Thank you, Go Herping. Thank you, UTech Pia. Thank you, Beamed Up. Dragon Bar, you were one of the last people to get in. Zom Club, thank you again. Did yours, but also thank you for just throwing in the extra. Clover Tack, appreciate you. Abiola Abrams, thank you. And thank you for wishing me a happy Thanksgiving. I really appreciate that. Jason takes Omegle. Okay, cool. $10, thank you. Being low budget, I'm going for a lo-fi 80s aesthetic as channel grows, staying clear of channels that use primary colors and bait text thumbnails. Editing PC has been dead a few months. Okay, so you're on the comeback trail. Okay, Jason, super appreciate that, and like hoping you make a comeback and that you get your editing PC up and running again. Bad Plantano, thank you for the $5 super chat. Andy, thank you for the $3 euro. Appreciate you, buddy. Who else? Just doing some housekeeping here, guys. Stu Crompton, thank you for the $4 euro. Lauren Nice Vlogs, thank you for the $5 there. Chinese Buddy, thank you for the $8. I think that's some European currency that I can't pronounce. Liz, again, thank you for the $2 Canadian. George T, thank you for the $2 euro. Does not qualify you for a review, but I appreciate you nonetheless. $2 from NTB Drop In, thank you. Muska Jehan, thank you for the $5. Gates, thank you. Kawaii's Kitchen, I know I reviewed your channel in one of these reviews. Thank you for the $5 super chat. It wasn't today. I think it was a couple of weeks ago. Lauren Nice Vlogs, you actually did qualify, but you broke your thing up into 2, so I'm going to like just do that real quick. It's not going to be a long one. It's not going to be super in-depth. Car Galaxy Studios, thank you for the $2. So that's all the thank yous. So we've got like 2 really short last ones, and it's because they did get in before I had cut it off. I just didn't see it. And then there were some of you who brought it up in Super Chat. There were some that happened before I announced the cutoff. So thank you. So Lauren Nicole Vlogs, almost 4K subscribers. Good editing and cinematography, so no worries on that. Fairly decent thumbnails, using some of the trending stuff, but the execution of it could be better, but you got the views, so what do I know? Let's see how your videos are doing lately, because you've been able to pull views, and you guys keep saying that, oh, a small channel can't get views, and yes, she hasn't been getting as many views lately. If I sort by her most popular videos, though, 4K subscribers, and she's got more than one video with over 10K views. So it's not an anomaly, ladies and gentlemen. And if you look at the thumbnails and if you look at what her content was about, it makes sense that she would get her views. So Lauren, your advice is do more videos like the videos that performed best on your channel over the last 2 years, because that matters. And then it just goes down less after that. But it looks like you're not doing the things that made you successful before. And again, sometimes you want to make content you want to make, but if your goal is that you say you want to grow a YouTube channel, if your goal is growth, then you do need to prioritize the videos that perform the best for you, and do more content like that. When something works, keep doing it. If you say you want to grow, a lot of you want to grow, but then you won't do things that you know work and have grown you already. So if you look at the videos that drove the most subscribers for your channel, if you look at the videos that did the most ad revenue for your channel, if you look at the channels that got the most watch time, if you look at the videos that got the most views for your channel, and you did more of those, you will grow. So prioritize that. So you're capable of doing good thumbnails. I think that they can be better. I think that you would benefit from the YouTube starter kit and that they could be a better execution of the style you want. But, again, links are in the description down below. But I think that your sense of color aesthetic is good. You've got a good design style. But your content strategy should be predicated on what grew your channel in the first place and what got you the most views over the last 2 years. Compared to your other videos, these are crushing it. If we sort by and we look at what you've done in the last little while, it's night and day on the views. So if you're saying that you want to grow and you want to get to at least 10,000 subscribers, you're going to have to make more videos about what's in your backpack. You're going to have to make more videos about college. You're going to have to make more videos about being in a sorority. You're going to have to make more videos about moving. You're going to have to make more videos about IKEA. Even if those may not be the videos you want to do the most right now, which it looks like you want to do other things, you need to prioritize doing videos that made you successful because you're so hit and miss now, and it looks like it's hurting the channel. So, again, whenever you do stuff that's about moving in, it works. Whenever you do certain videos, it works. And then when you do like college stuff, it works. But when you do things that are not that, it bombs. So there's a very specific value proposition that your audience seems to want, and you're not catering to it, and maybe you need to reverse that trend. I'd also say that you take this color and this aesthetic that you've got going on that's really good, and your good sense of typography, and I would apply that to your channel artwork, because YouTube, too much white like backgrounds and text doesn't do it. So I would just go with using your color aesthetic, and again, use your face. You're a personality. Use your face up here somewhere, and maybe a close-up of you here, because again, you're selling personality more than advice. So that's what I would say. WGBS, people are asking how long the sale is on the YouTube starter kit. The YouTube starter kit, the sale goes to the end of the year. It's a Black Friday kickoff, but we're still through Cyber Monday, and we're going to the end of the year. 50% off. It's $99, so 50% off means it's $50. And right now, you get a couple dozen templates, and I'm adding more this weekend, and I'll be adding more up until the end of the year. The goal is to get this to being like 100 download assets, so you'll have some YouTube thumbnails, you'll have YouTube channel art, you'll have YouTube end cards, you'll have other assets that I'm doing, like cool notification bell and subscribe button stuff. A little bit of 3D text. I might throw in some lower thirds. I'm going to throw in an interface like the one I have. So, that is something that I'm working on. So, again, Lauren Nicole, I don't know that you need the YouTube starter kit, but it couldn't hurt. You can do good thumbnails, clearly, but you need a content strategy that focuses on what has made the channel successful, and also a little bit of help on the channel artwork. So I would do those things. So that's your quick review. Mindset TV, I saw that you did get your thing in before I did the thing. Subscribe, it's free. That on black background doesn't do it for me. Make that the YouTube red stuff and put it in like a rounded rectangle thing. Maybe I'll make one, and then people can do that. If your thing is about mindset, you should have like put the channel name in the channel artwork. Tell us the value proposition right up front. You got 20K subscribers. Let's check out how views doing. Thumbnails could be better. Let's see. Mindset TV. Mindset TV set makes me think that your thing is about... No, Mindseed TV. Why did I say Mindset TV? Because you're like, okay, my brain... Mindseed TV. Okay, cool. So I like your profile pic there. I like that. The thumbnails are pretty good, actually. 20K subscribers. Not doing bad on views. It's hit or miss. Thumbnails probably could help with some of that hit or miss. Because sometimes you crush it on thumbnails, dude, and sometimes it misses the bar. So... What is the answer for you? The answer for you probably is content strategy also. What was the most successful stuff on this channel? Huh. There are certain tech reviews that did better than others. It might be that the nature of what you do with tech reviews, and this has happened to me too, could just be hit or miss. I mean, I crushed it on some of the iPhone stuff, but the Google Pixel didn't pan out nearly as well by far. Like, it's night and day. So I understand how tech channels sometimes hit or miss on that. Stay on trend, buddy. Like, that's the best advice when it comes to that. Now, as for your thumbnails, some of them are all over the place. I'd like to see more consistency. I'd like to see a style. Like, one of the things that all the tech YouTubers do is all the tech YouTubers have their own style of thumbnails. You can tell a Marques Brownlee thumbnail from a Austin Evans thumbnail instantly. You can tell Jedner, who is your average consumer, you can tell his stuff from Everything Apple Pro instantly. You can tell iPhone 8 from everybody instantly. So, you know, that matters. When I say, like, it's when you say, it's not a course. The YouTube Starter Kit isn't a course. The YouTube Starter Kit, which is in the interface when I'm over here, the YouTube Starter Kit is a series of download templates that you can use to make your YouTube visuals stop sucking, like channel artwork, end card screens, thumbnails, and other things that I'm adding to it. And you get it for one lifetime price. No subscription model, no buying them one at a time. It's just a big old bundle of things, and you keep getting added value until I decide that it's over 100 assets, and you know, that's where we're going, probably 120, because I'm releasing another template pack this weekend, plus an interface like the one I'm using to do my live streams. You'll get that. So, you know, it's on sale for Black Friday. Links in the description. And WGBS, can you post that with also the discount code? So, again, thumbnails are important, but the thing is, not all thumbnails are equal, because you can see that there are things that work for this channel, but if you found the things that perform the best and you made that more consistent, then everything else has a chance to perform better. And again, I saw Linus Tech Tips do this. I saw Marques Brownlee do this. I saw Austin Evans do this. So when it comes to reviews and tech, Lou from Unbox Therapy, like, you know, that matters. Is all the content geared toward Photoshop. It's not content, it's downloads, and there are a few other assets and resources in there. But here's the thing. You can open Photoshop files without Photoshop. That's kind of the point. Affinity Photo is $60, and you guys can do better thumbnails with that. Also, you could use this and use the layouts and then try to figure out how to do it in Canva. Canva won't let you import Photoshop files, but you could use the layouts and the techniques to apply that to there if you wanted. But again, you can get a free trial of Photoshop for 30 days. Photoshop is $10 a month. Photoshop Elements is $80, Affinity Photo is $60, and GIMP is free, and they all open Photoshop PSD files. So that's what I would definitely say. Now, some channels don't need to do the graphic design and textual elements of their thumbnails. They need to focus on photography. Tech review channels can do very well with photography and nothing else if you wanted to do that, and there are channels who have done that successfully. So, again, my big thing for you, buddy, would be figure out your strategy, because, again, with some of these thumbnails, you wouldn't expect such a good background and lighting, and your stuff is good. You're doing quality content. It's not an accident that you have 20,000 subscribers. But the biggest tech YouTubers in your niche, you see that they have a consistent thumbnail strategy and a consistent aesthetic. They also make the fact that they're a tech review channel extremely clear in their channel artwork. So if you study that, if you study what the Unbox Therapy, Everything Apple Pro, your average consumer, Austin Evans have done, then you will definitely be much more successful. But you're crushing it on views on some of these things, man. You're doing good, but it's hit or miss for you, and I would like to see the consistency. So that's your answer. 3.5 hours. You people are monsters. I'm poking fun, but like seriously, you guys. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the people who wished me a happy Thanksgiving. thank you for everybody who donated just to be supportive and to help get me through the last 3.5 hours. I think this is the longest stream I've ever done. I never want to do a 3.5 hour stream again. I do the YouTube channel review stuff once a month, and sometimes I'll shoehorn it into my live stream content. The thing is, I can't do YouTube channel reviews all the time, guys, because there are other things I need to talk about in the Q&A live streams. Something we never got to touch on today, for example, that I would have liked to talk about is what's going on with the YouTube Kids app and the ElsaGate stuff. I think that that's important. I think that I've seen some other conversations I've been having with people in YouTube. Like I was chatting YouTube with like Ethan from H3H3 a little bit about what's going on with demonetization, and I'm seeing weird stuff. I'm seeing weird stuff with my friend Sam Sheffer's channel. He's a tech channel, but he's getting demonetized for no good reason. So I need to be able to do the Q&A stuff so I can talk about that stuff more than just do channel reviews. And I don't want this channel to ever be consumed with YouTube related content. It's supposed to only ever be 20% of this channel or less. My big focus is entrepreneurship and creativity and skills. And a lot of you, the reason your YouTube channels are not growing the way you want is a lack of focus on skills, video production, photography, design, marketing. All of those things matter. YouTube tips matter a lot less than being able to do good packaging and good photography or design so that people will click on something. Like YouTube tips matter a lot less than good video production, so you have good quality videos to watch, good audio, like Adobe Audition tutorials. So again, I would encourage you, there's other stuff on this channel. If you're struggling with YouTube monetization, I've got plenty of videos telling you how to make money on the internet without YouTube. I still make majority of my revenue outside of YouTube. I built a very successful consulting business using YouTube only as marketing leverage, but I still grow that, and that's also why I started a podcast, and that's very practical. There's a lot of stuff you can get from the speaking engagements that have my best strategies for everything. There's a lot of mindset stuff. If you're going through depression or anxiety, a lot of the vlogs will probably help you and tell you how I got over that. If you're trying to make YouTube content, I'd encourage you to watch more of the videos about the camera gear and about the editing and about the software. A lot of you really need some better hardware to do some of this stuff. So I have a lot of stuff on the hardware side and on the software. There's a lot of tutorials. A lot of you could stand to be better at Photoshop. You're not good at Photoshop. Yeah, the YouTube starter kit will help. Knowing how to use Photoshop will help a lot too. Knowing how to do audio so that your audio is good, so you can do loops, so you can do backgrounds, so you can do all those things to have quality audio and mix it well, like that's important. So maybe you should watch more tutorials on that, whether they're from me or from other people. So again, I know a lot of you are into YouTube tips, but there's a lot of other content you need. And again, we need to talk about things like the adpocalypse. We need to talk about other things. So when I do Q&As, I don't just want to do super chat reviews. I do want to talk about problems and solutions in the YouTube community. I want to talk about what's going on with the demonetization issue. Again, I hate talking about it, but it's important because there's new information. We got to get through that. The advertisers are upset again. We're in adpocalypse like 2.0 territory because of the YouTube kids channels and not being actually family friendly sometimes. So we have to get into that issue. So again, I would just like say that there's a lot to talk about on this YouTube channel besides how to grow a YouTube channel. There's a lot to talk about in this community. And I definitely appreciate you guys being supportive. I appreciate you guys spending time here. I appreciate that you guys are trying to grow and do different things. So again, thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. And again, just thank you for being awesome. And it's been a 3.5 hour stream now. Like I don't know how I got through that. But we did it. Marlena, thank you for the $5 euro. Thank you so much for 3.5 hours of great learning experience. You are much appreciated. Like, thank you. So yeah, I super appreciate you guys. If you got value out of this at all, if you got value out of this live stream at all, and you're still here, and you want to throw like $2 or $3 at Super Chat, I definitely appreciate it. Everything that you do helps grow the channel, helps me with the other things I'm getting ready to do, like hiring people to edit the other videos so that I can just focus on content and growing the business. Don't forget there are links and resources to help you in the description. There's a playlist of videos on this channel if you're trying to grow YouTube stuff. There's playlist for video editing. A lot of you are struggling with that. I plan to do some Final Cut Pro tutorials because a lot of people, I know not all of you want to be Adobe subscription people, so I'm going to do some stuff with Final Cut Pro too to help you out. I'm going to do some more tips on the YouTube live streaming setup I have. I'm going to try and do like maybe 1 or 2 OBS tutorials. I'm using Wirecast, but it's expensive, so I know there are people who need OBS. So, those are things that I'm looking forward to doing with you guys. And again, recently I did launch something I'm proud of, the YouTube Starter Kit. The YouTube Starter Kit, I've been cranking out Photoshop templates based on like the best channels and best practices. So you guys can grab this. You get dozens of resources. I'm going to make it over 100 resources by the time I upload more stuff over the coming weeks. And you guys can get it on sale right now for Black Friday. Discount code 450. It's usually $100. You're going to get it for 50. Tropical Fit says the YouTube Starter Kit also include help with adding text to the thumbnail. Yeah, actually, a lot of them, the text is in here, and there's a new thing that I'm going to add where I'm going to give you a piece of content on there that's about the best free fonts for YouTube, and I'll link you to dafont.com and the individual best free fonts for YouTube for different channels, so you'll get that. There's a lot of resources in the starter kit. Most of it is these Photoshop thumbnail templates and the channel artwork templates and the end cards and things like that. There'll be more resources, and as you guys comment and tell me what you want to be in the YouTube starter kit, I'll add packs that are update packs, so it'll be bonus content. And again, it's all for one price. Like now, and so that's what I'm doing, just to give you guys some more context. And so that's gonna really help you guys. And I just appreciate you guys' support with everything that I do with this YouTube channel, with AwesomeCreatorAcademy.com. And next time we do a YouTube live stream will be after Thanksgiving. So one of the things I definitely want to say is if you celebrate Thanksgiving or if you celebrate the holidays, happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays. Find something to be thankful for. It's been great hanging out with you guys today. So I've got some things that I need to do, like go eat and rehydrate and rest. And I do still have some work to do today. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hanging out for 3.5 hours. The replay, YouTube will have that up in probably about a couple hours because it takes forever to process these. So that will be there for you guys. You'll get the replay so you can watch all the channel reviews. If somebody can do a running total of how many channel reviews I did today, that'd be amazing because I'd like to actually know. And so we'll probably do another one of these closer to the Christmas holiday. I don't know what the date will be, but come back. Usually I do YouTube live stuff on Fridays, but this Friday I'm going to be out of town visiting family for the holidays. So I won't be here to do a YouTube live on Friday. There'll probably be some scheduled upload that I'll do on Friday. I'm not sure what video that will be. There'll probably be a scheduled upload later this evening as well. So look forward to that. Come back to the channel. If you haven't already, definitely subscribe, become part of the Create Awesome community. And just, guys, go out there, create something awesome today. Thank you so much. Happy holidays. Take care.